it is a pretty universal symbol of truth, knowledge, and understanding. It acts as a guide.
So it's not that we are shortage of the things. We can grow. We have to grow more and more, and we have to use it. And if it is comfortable to read it through the papers, we should do it. And it's not that we can just think of that. Nothing is wrong in that. If you are producing, for example, for plastic which is not biodegradable, that is more dangerous. And as said, you have produced the papers. From the papers, you are producing a kind of a cloth. And from the cloth,
Good afternoon, everybody. Let's begin this session with a felicitation. Now, we would like to felicitate Mr. Ramesh Panwar, the sponsor of this conference from Colorman. So please, we request our AIFMP president and past president to do the felicitations. May we request the current president and the past president to do the felicitations.
Now to start with our second session, that is our technical session, let me take this opportunity to invite our very distinguished guest, the keynote speaker for the day, Mr. Mahendergarh Pachori, the prestigious Viren Chhabra Print Leadership Award 2020 winner that was conferred by AIF MP. Mr. Mahendergarh Pachori graduated in chemical engineering from the Manipal Institute of Technology in 1975. He then joined Pragati Offset Private Limited, a commercial printing press started by his father, Sri Pachori Hanumanta Rao, in 1962. Press with the latest technologies and building a team that was professional in every way. He has made Pragati an extension of the customer team rather than just another supplier. Pragati is the winner of highest number of awards, domestic and international, where it is today among the best printers of the world. So winner of the SAPPI International Printer of the Year Award 2006, 8 and 10. Please, sir. Please put your hands together for our keynote speaker of the day, Mr. Mahendergarh Pachori.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're all going through a very, very difficult phase in the world. We're going through a difficult phase, COVID taking unprecedented toll on supply chains, logistics nightmare, and now this war. After I wrote this, then they started the China lockdown, which actually is giving a mess to the supply chain. The unprecedented hikes in raw materials are something we haven't seen in decades. We have taken many blows, one after the other. We have to face these and still go forward. A tall order, but we have no choice. Next slide, please. As far as technology goes, today lithography is the primary printing technology used all over the world. Printers are working ever closer with designers who are looking at their brochures or package to stand out in a crowded environment by using 6, 7, 8 color presses. They are incorporating more Pantone colors for a stronger printed product. They're adding many UV finishes in line during printing. At every drupa, we expect to see a plethora of enhancements that take place on NAFs and that makes offset press even more viable. These include closed loop systems, inline finishing capabilities, and longer press configurations. Next slide, please. Printing is here to stay. This is an area, there is an area in short run printing where digital and offset cross lines. The lower the quantity, digital stands out. Also, when a job is wanted immediately, digital, and the CEO has to catch the flight. Advantages are that you can print fewer numbers as and when needed. So digital is the winner here, but the real advantage of digital is variable data printing. That is where we make money. We printed 4 or 5 years ago this particular job. You can't really see it, but we printed 10 million. Each is a different design, each one number individually. As of today, it still stands after 4 years, world's largest variable data printed card. Digital is no doubt growing, no doubt about it. And also, the question doesn't arise that is it going to overtake offset? It might. I don't know when. I don't know when. The next 10 years, I'm not so sure. Offset will still continue to do the rate. Offset is 50% of the market, and the rest is shared by Flexo, Gravure, Screen, Digital, and Inkjet. Offset is here to stay as it reproduces very good quality at a very low price. Next one. Digital presses were constrained by smaller size and speed for taking up mainstream print. But now we have viable alternatives in larger size, HP 10, 20, 30K, Kodak Imprimeria, Konica Minolta KM1, Fuji J Press, Screen Full Press. No doubt, Landa also will be here soon. I have seen results on HP 15,000 Commodore Imprimeria, and the quality is excellent. But at that cost, I'm not sure how many will be installed and how many will be viable to be a running competition against offset. Instead, one has to focus. Instead of focusing on doing jobs which cannot be done by offset and have short-run jobs as filler, the advantages of digital are short-run, urgent, variable data. So to see the applications, we can make full use of these advantages. As an example, if you look at photo books, this was not even a system which used to exist. It is now coming because it's a digital press is on. One thing we must understand very important that digital and offset will coexist. They will exist and they will do their jobs differently, but they are definitely there. One point I would like to make here to many printers, depending on service, they are mostly depending on service bureau for the printers. They will send their jobs and they will get the plates back to them. But if they want to go into digital press, they need to know a lot about this particular thing because the number of terabytes you have to process, translate, and do everything. There is no doubt that you have to take you have to learn additional skills, data cleaning, validity, consistency, and storage. Next one, please. Yes. I would like to think back about my own transformation. When I joined Pragati, we were a majority letter press unit with one single color Russian offset machine. Plates were zinc, we used to grind and make an egg aluminum coating. This was a technology then. It changed to microfinish aluminum, PS plates, EDF, CDP. From lead type to typesetting PCs and manual separation to scanners to direct image capture. One color machine, many color machines, with online coding, UV, etc. As we know, change is the only constant in all our lives. And if we don't change with the change, we will be booted up. So we have changed from letterpress to now. We will continue to change. But we have to learn and we have to be ready for it. By the year 2025, India is expected to become 5th largest consumer country in the world, according to CII. The inception of new technologies, along with the rise in e-commerce, changing lifestyles, urbanization, and increased personal awareness has boosted the growth of print and packaging markets. Globally, the packaging industry has positioned itself as one of the fastest growing industries in our countries. The industry is worth 917 billion in 2019, with a CAGR of 2.8% to reach 1 trillion by 2024. Packaging is the third largest industry in the world, followed food industry is the first, energy is the second, and the third one is packaging. And the only industry that has to do with every single product in the world. In India's case, packaging is the 5th largest sector in its economy and is one of the highest growing sectors in the country. According to the Packaging Industry Association of India, this sector is growing at a CAGR of 20 to 25%. Even with this steep rise in the last decade, there is significant headroom for growth, and in this sector, when compared to other developed regions across the globe. As for industry size, Indian industry was about $31.7 billion, which has grown at a CAGR of 18% in FY20, and estimated $72 according to statistics. Growth is driven by 3 factors such as rising population, increasing income levels, changing lifestyles. Increasing media penetration through the means of internet and television are fueling demand for packaged growth, especially in rural India also. Next slide, please. While per capita consumption in India is quite low, 8.7 kilograms of packaging material when compared to countries like Germany and Taiwan, which is 42 kilos and 19 kilos respectively. The study suggests that the experts should think the growth of the packaging industry in India is mainly driven by food and pharmaceutical sectors. The rise of the Indian middle class, rapid expansion of organized retail, the growth of exports, India's rise in e-commerce are facilitating this growth. According to the Indian Institute of Packaging, packaging consumption in India has increased 200% in the past decade from 4.3 kg per person per annum to 8.6 kg. The e-commerce retail packaging sector has grown 65 million monthly unique visitors, accumulating an annual increase of 55%. India's e-commerce revenue is predicted to be the highest in the world, growing at an annual rate of 51% and increasing to $120 billion in 2020 and to about from 30 billion in 2016. Next slide. China is now the world's factory, making about 100% whatever they want. And they did a damn good job about it. But unfortunately, we have put all eggs in one basket. So the supply chain has made a mess. And today we are in such a big problem. The world will take so much time to recover from this. Now we expect about 20% of this business to come to India. It will come not because they love Indians. No. They will come here because we have 1.5 billion population and it's a great market. So they will come here. And if you remember, when we did, you want to remember the first night that when we bought our first Maruti car, Maruti 800. The glass fuse used to come from Japan. But today, India is a small car part hub of the world. We supply everything from motors and from engines to everything on that. So we expect us to do very well in the coming decade. I expect Make in India way and PLIC, Profit Limited Scheme, to take off decade 2021 to 2030 to be the decade of India. Another factor that has provided substantial stimulus to the packaging industry is the rapid growth of exports, which requires superior packaging standards for the international market. With this, need for adopting better packaging methods, materials, and machinery to ensure it will become very important for Indian business. In coming years, the Indian industry will see substantial growth, including elements regarding clean water, safe food, pharmaceuticals, along with adoption of exchange digital technologies, will aggressively penetrate and drive Indian industry packaging. The rise in consumption is driven by key aspects like rising Indian economy, strong favorable demographics, and demand for processed food. The growth of individual segment of food, beverages, FMCG, and pharmaceuticals will raise the demand for packaging solutions. In the coming decade, India will focus on transitioning the industry towards sustainability. The implementation of single-use plastic ban policy, along with the focus on recycling and the biodegradability, will bring about major transformation in this sector. Currently, Indian industry consumes more polymers compared to global average. This creates a unique opportunity for India to drive industry towards sustainability, bio-based paper-based. Next slide, please. The packaging sector has much wider exposure to other sectors of our economy. The growth of these sectors the coming decade will come with a combined effect to take this sector into new heights. Government of India recognized the potential of the sector and used a slew of policies like single-use plastic ban policy, profit-linked insurance schemes, adoption of national packaging initiative to further incentivize innovation in the sector. As a result, there are numerous champions which have come up with us and post significant profits in the last 5 years. There also rise in technology, research-based startups creating new sustainable packaging. I would like to say achieving our next one, please. Actually, this particular thing I was talking to my last time because I've been in the industry for 44 years. I still like it over there. How do you make good in this industry or any industry? As I said yesterday, only passion. You really have to work. And today, we are finding that the most difficult part in the industry is not technology, it's not money, it's not marketing, it's getting people to hire, not available, easily coming. So I would like all of you to go out into the market, work with us, and satisfy only one person. Satisfy yourself. People are, your honors, your boss will take you and put you on the head because that's what actually is needed to go up in any field. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Actually, I wanted to do this in 10 minutes back. We could have more time on the question. So if you have any questions, if you have anything.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for the statistical data. Actually, I was able to understand there is a lot of scope for printing. Students, please take it as a cue. There were at least 20 to 30 mini projects that he had told from what he said. Okay, so please review what he said and try to ask questions. Pragati is one of the key leading printing industries in India. Okay, so this is a nice opportunity for you to interact with him. Before I ask the question and he answers my question, quickly Google about Pragati and try to come up with a question to Sir now. Can you? So my question to you is, I have heard that the product for which you prepare a market, which you prepare a package, you bring it to your company, you use that for comparing and then to design and all. Can you elaborate?
Actually, any time the product, two designs. One is engineering design and one is the graphic design. So as far as the design goes, once we get a cup of whiskey bottle with 2 glasses. Then we make sure that we design engineering drawings for that. Make it, bring the dummy, put it in the car for about a week, go up and down, over the dummy day. Then once we are ready, we send the open in a diagram and the dummy design. Where he wants to put this problem, yellow, green, blue, whatever. Engineering we do. And engineering design is not only to use as many materials as possible, but it has to be good and it has to sustain until the package reaches the final end user. That's what we do.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for the wonderful session. Dear students, we should have noted that sir gave statistical data from CII and other statistical sources. Please make use of such information in your projects and assignments. It's very essential for us to look at other aspects of marketing and product making other than purely core printing. Thank you very much. Now, it's time for felicitating. Sir, may I call our AIF president to do the felicitations?
May I request Mr. Satish Malhotra also to come up on the stage and do the felicitations, please?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your motivational thoughts. Actually, sir has emphasized that when I joined here as an assistant professor, so the very biggest question I used to face that what is the future in printing? So I used to assure my students that this is a very promising field to get plethora of opportunity to get jobs. And today we have Narendra Pachauri sir, who explained eloquently the every aspect that we can feel that where the printing industry in India is going on. So it is a very moral boost for our students and faculty, sir. Thank you for your motivational thoughts, and I believe our students and all the participants will feel elated to hear about that we are in a very bright field and we are going to have good opportunities as far as the career opportunities are concerned. Thank you, sir.
Now we are ready for an international speaker coming over to us online and giving us his address. We have Mr. M. Mugira Nurhani from Indonesia. He is a graduate in Bachelor of Science, Economic School, College of Liberal Arts, Oregon State University. He is the president of Indonesian Print Media Association from 2016 to 2021. He is the president director, PT Intermasha Printing and Publishing, 1993 to present. He is the president director of Mahendergarh, Nandangi Offset Furnitures Manufacturer, and the president director of Hanurani Property and Asset Management. May we request Mr. Mugira Nurhani to give us the address from Indonesia on the virtual mode. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Lakshmi. Distinguished guests, honor from Central University of Haryana and all the students. Professor Kamal Chopra, thank you for having me in this tremendous event, the International Seminar for Printing. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Ahmad Mugira Nurhani. People call me Mugi. I'm the president of Indonesian Print Media Association and becoming a start in printing business since 1993. Let me start with the historical ties between India and Indonesia. India and Indonesia has a very close relationship since the early in the early years history of the Asian continents. Hold on. Even the Indonesian currency, we call it rupiah, has been derived, I believe, from India currency is rupee, because before the European came to Indonesian island at a time, I believe Arabs and Indian traders already been in Indonesian area. Many Indonesians at the moment love Indian song and movies. Professor Kamal Chopra already been in Bali, and there's a singer, they can sing Indian song even though they don't understand what the song meaning. Our organization, Indonesia Print Media Association, is established in 1974. We emphasize and we coordinate all the books printers manufacturers in Indonesia. We have several tasks from the government that we have to do, like do the government regulation for the certified worker. Our organization is assigned by the Ministry of Industry to certify all Indonesian printing operator. We are planning to have the system imposed by the next year. Supposed to be this year, but since the COVID, the government postponed the program until next year. At the moment, the organization also has a legal standing, giving recommendation or by Minister of Manpower to write recommendation for offset printing company who need assistance for labor dispute. So we can become supporting to our colleagues in Indonesian printing to help them if they have a problem with the labor. We have 23 branches in all over Indonesian provinces. Now, it's about 931 companies registered to the organization. The thing that we have to learn from India is about the education in printing. In Indonesia, most school of printing industry is a high school level. We call it high school vocational level. Only 4 universities has a program in printing, but it's only on diploma level. So if we compare to India, India has several universities majoring in printing production with bachelor degree and master degree. And I believe also maybe in doctoral degree, they have a printing concentration. That's what I think we have to learn from India. And maybe I already talked to some director and university president in Indonesia to seek working together with Indian university like this, maybe Central University of Haryana or Professor Laxmi Priya College, to working together for Indonesian students studying in India and learn more about the printing production. The advantage of Indonesia. If Mr. Narendra before talking about the numbers of Indian, we know that our population are only 250 million people. It is only 20% of Indian population. But Indonesia is one of the biggest paper manufacturer in the world. Currently, it's about number 5 or number 6 in the world and number 2 in Asia after China. It's the 4th largest population nation in the world, yeah, after China, India, America, and I believe Indonesia. Now, the student population between the age between 7 to 18 years old are around 56 million people. So the market for books printing is still a large need, such as text, books, and writing books. Okay. by the rule, by the law, Indonesian government have to provide a student textbook for all children from elementary school up to high school level. So there's a still market in Indonesian printing business for that time. What does Indonesia needs? Indonesia does not have printing machinery or manufacturer. All printing machineries, including bindery, are imported from Europe, USA, China, Japan, and India, and many other countries. Aluminum plate for offset also imported. So I see a lot of opportunity for Indian manufacturer to sell their product in Indonesia, especially in offset printing and also bindery machinery. Some Indian printing machinery already sell machine like in Indonesia, also for the bindery system. Now I come to my conclusion. A lot of things can be done between India and Indonesia. We need to learn more about printing education in India. Not so many young generation in Indonesia are interested in offset printing school or business anymore. Promotion for printing like Print Olympiad that has been made by Professor Kamal Chopra in India should be started in Indonesia too, to encourage young generation to love printing. I think that's going to be my presentation for today. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Mr. Chopra, and thank you. Yes, it's a freeze frame before. I don't know why.
Students want to know if there is any opportunity for students who complete deep printing technology, whether they can work in Indonesia.
I cannot hear very clear, Madam Professor Lasmi. Cannot clear what your question. What's the question?
Is there a job opportunity for graduates in printing from India?
I believe if we're talking about packaging business that's now is growing in Indonesia, there's still a possibility for student from India. But I don't know about the immigration regulation. That's gonna be a little bit difficult because Indonesian company can only hire foreign worker if they're on above the managerial level only. If a normal worker or like a operator, we cannot have foreign nationality working in Indonesian company. I think that's the rule.
Is there any opportunity for internship?
Internship maybe, yes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Mugi wants to ask you something.
Yes, Kamaji. What's the question?
He is asking what is the pay scale in Indonesia and how I can get the job.
Okay. If you want to work, if the student want to work in Indonesia, they have to be very expertise. They have to have a very skill on the managerial level. In the factory in Indonesia, the government cannot allow the operator level below the managerial level to work for foreign worker to work in Indonesia. But if the company itself came from investment from like Indian company invest in Indonesia, they can bring the work. They can bring about 30% of the workers from India, something like that. So if the student want to seek opportunity to work in Indonesia, it's better to find an Indian company who want to invest in Indonesia and join them, like something like that. Professor Chopra.
Mugi sir, the second question was that what is the pay scale?
What
is the amount you are giving to your operators there, your manager there?
What is the salary?
Yes.
Okay, we have a minimum standard wages in Indonesia. For operator Indonesia, the standard salary is starting from about 4 million. Depend on the area, but if you're talking about in Java Island, especially in Jakarta and West Java, surrounding Jakarta, is starting from 5 million rupiah. It's about $350 US.
Yes. You stick on 5 million rupees, that's better. It is no big moral. Not convert to dollars.
It's 5 million rupiah. It's quite a lot of Indonesia.
They can fill their briefcase with that.
Yeah, you can feel like millionaire if you have a 5 million rupiah standard salary.
5 million rupees.
Sir, can we pursue our degree, master's degree in Indonesia at the same time with our job in Indonesia?
Actually, he told that they don't have the training. They are inviting madam to train there. They don't have any further training more than diploma in Indonesia.
Yeah, for printing only diploma.
Mugi, are you listening me?
Yes, yes.
So, any other question? Yeah. Mugi, we are facing shortage of paper.
Yeah.
Problem. Can you suggest, because Indonesia is making the paper, how can we cooperate with that?
Yeah. Also problem Indonesia, we are also short of paper because the problem with the forest and also now Indonesian paper manufacturer like the APP, they like to produce more on the carton box on the package for packaging. So like the art paper, like a wood free, they reduce the production. They produce more on the we call it the brown paper. That's for the packaging industry. They emphasize more on that. So problem in Indonesia also we have a shortage of paper and the price also increasing at the moment. Yes. Thank you very much, Kamaji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you.
It's our prestige that you are here with us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you for the interesting presentation. In this series, our next presentation is on future of printing in Bangladesh and scope of network with Indian printing and packaging industry. Speaker is Mr. Julkor Sahin. He has more than 26 years of experience in printing industry, currently working as managing director of a book printing industry with vast knowledge on offset printing, screen printing, packaging, labels, and flexible printing and transfer printing. Elected as Joint Secretary of Printing Industries Association of Bangladesh in 2010, elected General Secretary in 2014, represented Printing Industry Association of Bangladesh to Asia Print Federation, General Body Member of Federation of Bangladesh Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So I welcome sir to present on your topic, that is future of printing in Bangladesh and scope of network with Indian printing and packaging industry.
Thank you. The distinguished chair, distinguished guests, all the professors and the students of Central University of Haryana, all the international speakers and all my friends. Thank you. Especially Mr. Kamal Chopra, I would like to thank you for inviting me here. I am very sorry that today morning there are some problem with my computer. All the presentations what I made, that's gone. So I will read it out only. I have print copy. Is that okay, sir? Okay. First of all, today in Bangladesh we are celebrating our 52nd Independence Day and National Day. In 1971, father of nation Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman declared independence of Bangladesh on these days. I would like to express my heartiest gratitude to the father of nations, freedom fighters, peoples of Bangladesh, Indian soldiers who was joined with Bangladesh fighters, and all of you, my friends. The future of printing in Bangladesh and scope of networking with Indian printing and packaging industries. Yes, very important. Before going to topics, I would like to say something about that. What was the discovery? How was discovery the printing and like this? The discovery of language is undoubtedly the first step in human communication. Then there is the role of letter discovery. For thousands of years, peoples have written letters to express their thoughts, read handwritten newspapers and books to acquire knowledge. Then came the printing press as a groundbreaking discovery. Today's civilization is unimaginable without a printing press. From wooden letters to the passage of times, digital printing is playing an important role in the development of today's civilization. What was the printing history of Bangladesh? It is not too big, but the first printing press in Bangladesh was established in Rangpur. It's a divisional city of Bangladesh. That press was established in 1848 with a focus on publishing newspaper. The press was set up by Jomindar Kali Chandra Roy. Then immediate that one in Dhaka, also on the same year, 1848, there was another printing press. That press, still that machine is in the Dhaka Museum. And the first book printed in Bangladesh, it is the name of the book is Nil Darpan. It is Bengali language. Was published in 1872. The journey of creative publishing in East Bengal can be called holding on the hand of Nil Darpan. Since then, the printing industry of Bangladesh has been keeping pace with the times. Our industry today is self-sufficient and modern. The government of Bangladesh is celebrating Book Day on the 1st of January every year by handing over new books to the student from pre-primary to secondary level. In continuation of this, on 1st January 2022, 350 millions of books have been distributed among the students free of cost. Despite the stagnation of normal life, the economy of Bangladesh has achieved growth, the pharmaceuticals industry and the ready-made garments. The printing industry of Bangladesh making an indirect contribution to every stage of this country. The direct and indirect export of the printing industry of present days in Bangladesh about $2,000 million. There is also a local market of $2,000 million. Printing is deeply involved in every aspect of our lives. In the current era of digitalization, we have to think about the future of conventional printing. There is no doubt that big changes are coming. Leading printing companies in Bangladesh are constantly embracing new innovations, integrating with digital technology and becoming more customized. I think the bright future of printing lies in embracing modernity by realizing the nature of the pace of change of context. The global market for printing and packaging products is projected to grow to 433.5 billion by 2025, with growth rate of 4.2% between 2021 and 2025. Demand for printed matter will increase in industries such as food and beverage and pharmaceuticals. The scope of cooperation between Bangladesh and Indian printing industry. The history of printing in India is very ancient. Printing industries play an important role in the Indian economy. Many companies have built a strong position in the domestic and international market by producing modern printing press, keeping pace with the times. The demand for Indian printing press and various chemicals, including paper and ink, is huge in the market of Bangladesh. Although demand for printing and printed matter has increased, investment in printing companies in the developed world has been declining for a variety of reasons, including rising labor cost. Bangladesh and India can easily take advantage of this opportunity to dominate the world market. There are several institutes in India for learning about the printing industry, such as Central University of Haryana and some others. By increasing mutual cooperation, the students of Bangladesh can play an important role in the development of this industry by taking education in these institutions. Necessary steps must be taken to make available of Indian-made quality machines, parts, paper, ink, and chemicals in Bangladesh. It is essential to enhance mutual cooperation between the two countries on various technical issues of printing. Opportunities of training on printing in Bangladesh are very less. Bangladesh Printing Industries Association is keen to set up a quality training center. In this case, Indian cooperation will enrich us. I hope to be able to provoke our capability in the global market by increasing mutual cooperation and technical assistance through the participation of Indian companies in the printing exhibition held in Bangladesh and the participation of Bangladeshi printing professionals to Indian exhibition. And then I believe that we will be able to take the future lead in the world printing market by facilitating each other's development instead of being rivals. So, thank you very much. Thank you, Kamalji. Is there any questions there?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the speech. Printing industries, printing institutions.
Okay, in Bangladesh, actually, we have only one government-approved training institute, which is called the Graphic Institute of Bangladesh, but it is not that much levels good for higher education here. So from Bangladesh, some peoples are going to India, even to China, and even to Germany for printing education. In Bangladesh, it is very poor facilities for get training here.
Job opportunity for our students who have completed printing here.
Actually, you know, in Bangladesh, there are a lot of peoples are not getting job here, but still there are opportunity because of technical knowledge. There are huge opportunity, and a lot of Indian peoples are working in even in printing industry.
Would you like to send your people here to our educational institutions for internship or for a diploma course?
Mainly for diploma course, definitely. I already spoke that we have an opportunity to get knowledge, get education from Indian Institute, and serve the industry.
Is it possible to have a collaboration between your students and our students? Because your students are in diploma level, we have students in engineering level, if we form a team, they can make a project. One part of it can be done here and the other part in your area, so that it can be a learning for both sides. Do you think it will work?
Yeah, definitely. That could be a wonderful things for actually what we are thinking. India and Bangladesh, it is there are many land border. If we can cooperate, not thinking that different countries, but thinking of with the cooperation level, then definitely we can take a very big advantage in the world market if we can cooperate each other.
As one example, I was talking to one student here in Central University of Haryana. She has done a paper using mushroom. So if she can do it on this side, and in your Bangladesh, you do another paper with your student, if there is a study of the comparative study of these two, that would be a good research.
Definitely, yes.
So we will take it up in future. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Any questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the nice presentation. With this presentation, we end this session. And now, after the tea break, there will be a North Zone Printers meet. Our next session, we will meet at 3:30.
In the days ahead. I've seen novelty of yesterday's print industry, the modernization of today's printing industry, and now working towards a challenging yet solution-focused tomorrow for global friendly and profitable print industry. Through the years, I've seen the passion and dedication that we all have put our efforts together to build a print industry. And I've seen small printers reinvented and becoming global, innovative, large-scale printers. Considering the future scenario, aim is to emphasize on enduring, long-standing solutions for the printing industry. As a result, we are looking for cross-country collaborations between Sri Lanka and India by creating a platform to raise funds for projects, knowledge sharing, horizons scanning, joint pricing and negotiations, and joint procurement of paper machinery. We strongly believe Offset Printers Association will collaborate with Sri Lanka Printers Association in taking this venture forward. As the current president of the Sri Lanka Association of Printers, I believe in achieving sustainability goals during my tenure. The goals we would like to achieve are cross-country collaborations, standardizations, education for printers to take SLAP to the next level, and financially to improve the industry next level requirements. The partnership between Sri Lanka and India have been there right from the start on the different ventures. As the saying goes, friend in need is a friend indeed. I feel this is such a kind of cordial business opening to collaborate with SLAP on various projects that can boast our relationship between the two countries. Some of the projects we invite to tie up are funding to build a print laboratory, and this could path the way to students to give recognized education and experience to enter into the printing industry. As a result, top 3 students can be given scholarships to India for further education, including hands-on work experience. This will help to take over the print industry in global standards. Through the same projects, we will be able to create more jobs, opportunities for lecturers can be given a scholarship for further education. We also invite the Indian printers to team up with the Sri Lanka printers and become business associates, where we could able to combine and use our expertise to win a global market together. In addition, you can also advertise with SLAP quarterly magazines, which caters to local and international market and contribute towards, once again, to meet the business prospects. We also welcome Indian printers to be sponsors of the CE Forum, seminars, workshops. This once again allows us for a mutual beneficial business outcome. Despite the certain challenges, we still be able to carry out this year's many projects, like holding the print conference, where we had 8 eminent speakers from the print and business circle, followed by the print exhibition and trade fair in 2022. We conducted educational seminars in different parts of schools in Sri Lanka and webinars. We also believe, as Sri Lanka and passionate contributors, print industry locally and internationally. It is now our duty to further strengthen our partnership and work towards a promising future to enhance the industry. I have shared with you some tips and techniques that will be beneficial to both parties in terms of building a long-term partnership. We are here today. Always free to reach us if you would like to venture into any of our hidden proposals. I mentioned earlier, we would be grateful and happy to pitch in with more detailed proposals according to your needs. Last but not least, thank you for allowing me this time and the opportunity to grasp all your attention for timely needed support on behalf of the printing industry. The Sri Lanka Institute of Printers wish you a belated Holi, and may those joy of color add to endeavor into new business collaboration. Stay safe. God bless you all. We'll see you soon. And Peter Decker signing off from Sri Lanka. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dear friends, the President of Sri Lankan Association of Printers has put forward his request for collaboration. Collaboration with the printers of India, collaboration with the academic institutions, and also for the students of their Institute of Printing. May we have some questions or suggestions from the audience? Would you like to say something? Sir, on a first level, I would like to introduce myself. I am Lakshmi Priya, HOD of Printing Technology at Avinashlingam Institute, Tamil Nadu. This is a deemed university for women and we offer BTech in Printing Technology. We would be most happy to have your girl students come over and do their BTech with us. If required, we can also have special sessions, maybe online or hybrid or offline, in terms of certification courses or long-term courses. Whatever you think would be suitable for you, we are open. We also have other academic institutions, the Central University of Haryana, the GJU, staff from these universities as well. You may consider as for collaboration on an academical ground.
Thank you, sir, for the nice presentation. Now, I would request the audience for the question answer session. If you have any queries, please ask questions.
Yeah, sir. There's a question from Bhutan. Yeah, sir, please.
Yes, okay, let me briefly introduce myself. I didn't attend the presentation yesterday. I am the Chief Executive Officer of Kunsal Corporation, the national newspaper. My colleague Pema and Karma Nyama were there in the first day presentation. So while we wait for the students, my question is to the speaker. The question is very straightforward and simple. What do you think will be the future of printing, especially with the change in technology? You know, like you said in your opening in your speech that with the change in technology and now everybody going towards digital printing and also trying to save the whole move against saving trees. In Bhutan, the government has now started to print less and less because they share documents, they use the technology. If they used to print 1,000 copies of the annual report last year, now they are printing 100 and then using circulating PDF instead of printing. So in Sri Lanka, I have recently read that because the economy is not really doing well, we have also heard that examinations are being postponed because there's a acute shortage of paper. So in this light of the change in economy, change in technology, where do you see the future of printing? That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you very much for asking those questions. The fact is, as you said, we are going through a turmoil with this shortage of material and economic and economy-wise also. But regarding the technology, digital is picking up very fast. It's also spreading to different areas in Sri Lanka. But if you compare digital against offset, digital is a bit costly compared to offset. But yet people intend to explore the opportunities to expand their business by having having digital for short runs. In the sense, if a sample is required by a printer, and if it gets onto offset machine, it'll be very costly. So it's easy to do on the digital and submit samples as quickly as possible to the customers.
Can we have anybody from the audience here to give a response to the same question? Mr. Prema, would you like to say something?
No, I am expecting some other experts from other countries to also comment or chip in to add to what our speaker said. I mean, especially we're talking about in the region.
Prema and Dekar, you are right. Paper shortage is a problem, but you see, it is an international problem, and we have to look into it. At the level of WPCF, we are trying. We have already issued a press release. I think everybody got it. We are trying to resolve the issue, but we'll have to be ready to accept it. Maybe tomorrow, maybe we may not get the paper, and we have to shift some other things. These are the problems, and I don't say the problem, it's a challenge. When we say the challenge, then we should ready to solve the challenge, and we are trying for that. In India, we approaching the government for some solution. Paper is exported, more exported for India. Export is increasing, but internal consumption paper is not available. It's a part of the game. Slowly it will be improved. I hope so. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I have a question for you, Decker sir. Yes, sir, actually, the students are concerned about what is the future of printing. Yesterday, we had sessions from Indian speakers as well as from abroad. So, if I sum up their conclusion, so we can say the scenario in printing that today what we are printing, it is going to double in 5 years. So this is the conclusion in the Indian printing scenario. And the students want to ask, know that what is the current scenario of the printing industry in Sri Lanka, and how do you see its future in the future perspective, like in the next 5 years? Sir?
Well, like I said, printing is a need for everybody. So there is a growth. There is a growth in terms to buy more machinery, mostly on digital.
Yes,
now,
yes.
if you take the last month's exhibition we had, there are a few companies that sold machines worth 300 million rupees. So that's the scenario right now in terms to digital in Sri Lanka. Everybody wants to go into digital because, like I said, to give a sample is much quicker on digital rather than offset. The offset is for plates, for waste of paper, and time factor also. So our guys wants instant samples done to submit to the customers overseas and also to Colombo. So the growth is there. There is a huge growth. But right now, with the financial issues in the country, people are a bit skeptical on investments. It's at the moment, there are some companies who are keeping their projects on hold till this resolves. So we are looking at all angles, and we are trying to get government support also, which will probably take some time. But likewise also, we, like Mr. Kamal Chopra said, we are having a huge problem with paper, and also the banks are not accepting to open LCs to import paper. So we are currently working with the Indian embassy in Colombo, which they have approved about $1.1 billion loan to Sri Lanka. Out of that, the printing industry will get about 10 million a month to support the printers to import material. And even there are mills who are finding difficult to find the waste paper. So the mills are also really reluctant unless they get a confirmed letter of credit from a bank. And particularly in India, they're asking for advance payments on TT and balance on LC. So there are a lot of issues going around in Colombo, which we'll have to, it's a challenge also for us to wait and see how we progress further from here on. But everybody is going through a tough time, not only printing, even other sectors, garment industries, consumer products, everything. Everybody is going through a tough time.
Sir, you want to give some message to our students, because challenges are there, and in fact, COVID has impacted every sphere of life, and printing is not alien from that. So if you have any message for our students that they may get motivated, that how we are going to improve the scenario in printing.
Yeah, like printing is a good subject. Subject to learn, and it's not an end to learning. It's always you progress every day. You learn something. So my advice to the students: whatever you do it with passion, and do it for a career, not for a job, a career. Build up a career in your different sectors in printing. Whether you're a graphic artist, a machine operator, maybe a quality controller, build up a career for yourself, not a job. A job you can always get, but a career is something that you build for yourself and for the future of your lifestyle. That is my opinion.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would like to compliment this on a very small note. For students, this is a very good opportunity. One challenge that you have mentioned is the shortage of paper. So probably as students, they can research on alternate raw material for paper, recycling of paper. Because yesterday, I've been telling this for quite a number of times, there is a student in Central University of Haryana who has used mushroom as a raw material for handmade paper making. So if students take up paper making as one important research work and find alternate, probably in a small way, maybe for certain jobs or commercial jobs, we would have sufficient paper.
Dr. Amit Kumar wants to ask that what are the issues and challenges in the upcoming technology like the printed electronics in nearby future?
I understand that I understand your question.
Actually, one of our participants, Dr. Amit Kumar, he wants to ask that what are the issues and challenges like printing has exceeded from its simple application like putting ink on paper. Now the different innovative techniques like 3D printing and printed electronics are in the coming future. So what are the issues and challenges in the printed electronics field, sir? How do you see it?
Well, printing electronic field is a vast subject. So it depends on what you want to do in terms of digital and also the other sectors. So it's a huge task, but nevertheless, I feel if you are passionate to do it, you can do it and build up your own knowledge.
Paper books to e-books. Recently, Nagaland government, it is a state in India, has introduced NEVA program, which stands for National E-Vidhan Program. Means they are not going to use papers in their parliament. So one side we are saying the printing industry is going to be, increase, but another side it is decreasing. So in which parameters it can increase in future?
Well, for example, if you take consumer products needs printing. Without printing, you cannot sell. You cannot put your product on the shelf.
Yes,
There are two aspects to it: e-book and physical printing. So, in my opinion, I mean, it can go parallel. But if you want to market a product or to educate educate somebody, my opinion, it should be printed.
Yeah, I want to also complement this thing that if there are challenges, अगर कोई आपके पास challenge आता है तो फिर new avenues भी खुलते हैं. अगर जैसे ई बुक का ट्रेंड बढ़ रहा है, बट अगर हम देखें कि कोविड-19 की वजह से बहुत सारी चीजों में इंक्रीज भी हुआ है. फॉर एग्जांपल जैसे कि पीपल्स choice are shifting towards the packaged items. So it is also opening some new avenues for the printing. If COVID has bring some challenges, then it has opened new avenues. I think the query has been addressed.
My advice to the students to work hard and do what they can do the best. Because if you take my career, I started my career as an apprentice in 1975 on a letterpress machine. I built up a career as I progressed from being an apprentice to finally end up as a board of directors. So it's a tough ride. We're working 24-hour shifts, all that. But I never gave up. Every day I learned something in life. So today I'm passionate about my career, which I started 4 decades ago under the difficult circumstances. So I would like to advise the students also to think of their career, to focus, to be passionate what they do. Do it with pleasure, do it with good intentions. After all, it's your career and it's your future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the nice and interactive presentation and for your motivational inspirations that I believe students must adopt, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you.
Moving forward, I would like to invite for the next presentation, that is on printing industry of Thailand and scope for collaboration. So Mrs. Thimjai Jorgensen with Bachelor of Arts, Faculty of Arts at Chulgonkorn University, Honorary Master of Science, Printing Technology, Susumantha University. She is General Manager, Craftsman Press, one of the very first offset printing house in Bangkok from 1970 to 2010. Owner and Chief Editor for the Thai Printer magazine since 1976. May I take this opportunity to invite ma'am for the presentation. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello, Sawadika. Greeting from Thailand. Okay, can you hear? It's a great honor for me to be a part of this conference. And it's my first time to talk with you, all the gurus in printing. I feel so excited. Please be patient to my clumsy talk. Today, I was assigned to talk about printing in Thailand in general. So it's that. The starting of Thai modern printing was about 200 years ago when Dr. Danbridge Bradley, an American missionary doctor, came to Thailand to introduce Christianity to the Thai people. He had brought with him a printing machine and a set of Thai font from Singapore. So later, he set up his printing house, firstly to print a kind of Bible and some of his textbooks. On the 3rd of June, 1836, the Thai government ordered his print shop to print a kind of poster to declare to the public that opium smoking was forbidden in Thailand. It was the first official document printed in Thailand. Later on, the 3rd of June has become Thailand Printing Day since 1987. Printing in Thailand has been developed and will grow continuously from then. Since then, at the present, there are about 4,000 printing houses of all sizes and all kinds of printing system, printing process. Together with graphic design, after-press services, government and print and private academy for printing and packaging education, from vocational level up to bachelor, master, and doctoral degree. We also have several associations, printing association too. We have no problem with the printing technology or high-tech printing machineries. We also have lots of jobs, even at the time of COVID-19. But anyhow, we still have a very, very serious problem. It is about lacking of human power in the industry, especially the press operators. And it seemed to be very worse during the COVID time. If you have seen the advertising pages, you will see how badly we need them. Fortunately, there are more and more collaboration between the academy and the printing houses trying to solve the problem together now. And according to the fact that lacking of human power, I think automation and AI will become more and more important to the future printing, which have to be smarter and cleaner than yesterday. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Dear students, you would have noticed the profile of our speaker. She is the chief editor since 1976. Can you guess how old she is? She's over 80 years old, active, and should be an inspiration for you all. She has done her honorary master's in printing and therefore a graduate in printing. A technologist, an industry person, and a newspaper person should become a motivation for you all. Madam, thank you for the wonderful presentation. It's heartening to hear that Thailand is doing well, but you need press operators. We have our diploma colleges here in India. Do you think our diploma students would be of any help as press operators in your country? What is the recruitment opportunity? Any points you can highlight on that?
Can you say the questions again, please?
There are a number of diploma colleges in India where students with diploma certificates pass out every year. For press operators, human support in Thailand, would these students have a good opportunity in Thailand?
Because at the moment, we also have manpower from our neighborhood, from Burma, but it's not a skilled one. So if you can export to Thailand, maybe you can talk to the association or something like that about this collaboration.
Thank you. Any questions from the audience?
Also, if there is internship, if a person comes from here for some training in Thailand, especially in the packaging factories. We know in Thailand there are very good packaging factories. Being an editor, can you help, or is it possible? That's what you want.
We have about 25 academy and university teaching in teaching in printing and packaging or design in the industry. So maybe we can talk about that between the university people. Is that what is that what you mean? It's always collaboration.
Yes, ma'am. We shall take up the collaboration between your academic institutions and our academic institutions.
Yes, right.
Maybe, yeah.
In here we
try
can.
that. But
yeah, ma'am.
Sorry, we don't have we can't hear so much in here, and I'm sorry. May I?
Sure.
Yes, I am her assistant. So, at addition more on 19
October.
19 to 22 October, we will have a Packprint International in here. I need to share. I need to change the screen. Please wait a minute. Can you hear here?
Yeah, we can see.
Yes, and it is a Packprint International. So I think on the 3 or 4 months from now, they will open the country. So I think it would be better if India in printing industry and the packaging come to Thailand and see the exhibitions in here. This is an international and worldwide. So it would be better if you come to see and talk with the association or university. Yes.
Thank you for the invitation to the Packprint 2022 in October 1920. Our academicians and industry persons will be most willing to visit the expo and have a good collaboration.
Yes.
Yes, I hope so.
Any other questions? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the inspirational talk and the invite.
Thank you so much.
Dear speakers who have been connected online in this virtual conference, hybrid conference, I would like to ask you to give us some insight about the research that's going on in your respective countries. Because there are a number of students here and faculty members who would like to know academically what kind of research and student projects are going on. Do you have any idea about the academic activities going on in your country? Can you highlight a few points, Mr. Decker? Can we start from you? Can you give some insights into the academic activities happening in printing institutes in Sri Lanka?
Yeah, we have two institutes called the INGRIN, which is mostly for graphic designing, and we have another institute called for printing, which has been lectured by lecturers from different companies. So there is, but I don't see anything new at the moment. But there is sort of growth happening in terms to recruit printers into the industry. But there's no development in sense for other sectors.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I would like to share one research that is going on in the institutes in India, waste management in printing. So one of the researchers is working on how you can minimize foil waste in foil printing. So he has been able to get some positive results. Academically, we need to publish these in international reputed journals. So this is one area that's going on where it's possible to minimize waste in foiling. Is there any other similar research in your area? From Bangladesh, would you like to share?
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Lakshmi. Actually, in Bangladesh, there is an old institute which is called Graphic Art Institute in Bangladesh, but that is in fact inactive. Then last few years back, Dhaka University opened a faculty for printing and publishing. Still, it is a very new faculty, and not yet started any research there. But every printer, as I know, as a printer, I also know that we are doing some, it is not institutional research, but every day to save their money, more production, more savings on labor. There are some research, but it is not institutional research like this.
Thank you, sir. One other area where many printing institutions in India are working is the graphic design area. Normally, we do 2D graphic design. But then today with the advancements in technology, 3D modeling and augmented reality are other areas that we are exploring. Augmented reality or AR is a technology where print comes alive. Just like how we scan QR codes to get additional information, AR technology helps to scan an image and give a video or additional information. One application where AR can be used will be packaging. On the package, we already have printed matter telling about the ingredients, statutory warnings, and other details. When there is no space to print information on the package, we can have AR technology associated with it. When the mobile app, you can scan the package and connect it to a website with additional information. This area is being explored in our country. Do you have similar experiences in your country?
Not yet, but it's a really great things could be. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Anup Martin, and I'm in third year in graduation program in printing and packaging technology. So, as our curriculum are mainly focused on basics of printing and packaging, but I want to know that how we can get into the manufacturing aspect of printing machines after graduation, and what will I have to study for that? Thank you.
One of our students wants to know after graduation how he can enter into printing machine manufacturing industry. Any suggestions from any of the international speakers?
From Bangladesh, I can say we don't make any printing machine, but I know there is some printing machine manufacturer in India. Definitely with the collaboration with Indian printing machine manufacturers, they can easily enter there. This is my thinking. Thank you.
Same also in Sri Lanka. We don't have anybody making machines. But I believe India has a lot of people making machines. Heidelberg is there. And if you take flexography, you get the Neil Peter machines there. Well, I think they're made in Chennai. So there's a lot of scope in India.
As Yuka said from Bangladesh, that instead of that is the best way. Thanks for giving the idea. We'll write to them that they should start some engineering-based training for the students who want to get training. But I tell you, already it is available to some extent if you want to go for internship. In the area of the printing, machinery, manufacturing industry, especially in North, there are only two stations. One is Hyderabad and the other is Amritsar. जिसने जाना बताओ अगले दिन लोग जाना तो आपने ना तो जाना आपके बोलो किसको मैन्युफैक्चरिंग की ट्रेनिंग लेनी है अमृतसर में फ्री ट्रेनिंग आपको स्कॉलरशिप भी मिलेगा ट्रेनिंग को जगह मिलेगी.
I would like to add that auto print machine manufacturers are in the same city as we are. Auto print has donated a skeleton machine along with the rollers to our department. We are able to teach the assembly of machines to our students, the offset single color machine. So that could be a kind of collaboration for the institutes.
Jyoti Malviya.
Jyoti is asking if she can visit your countries on an industrial visit.
Okay, from my side, I can quarterly invite her. She can visit, and I can take her to some factories, how we are doing printing, how we are doing packaging, all and I can share with the students too.
Yes, I think she could. Yeah, she can also visit Sri Lanka. We can take her about to see the garment printing plant, plus the private people also.
There's another question from another student.
Good morning to all and all. I'm Nicholas. I'm from Detail Printing and Packaging, India. I'm having one doubt about in coming future, if they implement the artificial intelligence in printing and packaging, means the manpower will get less now. Then how?
The question is, in case the printing industry is dominated by artificial intelligence, will this reduce manpower in the printing industry?
Okay, that's very good questions. Actually, from the birth to death, there are printing. Without printing, cannot imagine the life actually. Where the artificial intelligence or digitalization or any virtual or any other things comes. But do you think it is getting down the requirement of printing and packaging items? No, it is getting more and more. Some things are getting into the digital platform, but you know, packaging of food, packaging of pharmaceuticals, packaging of daily consumables are getting more and more requirements. So I don't believe that printing will be obsolete. Printing should be with its own platform.
Thank you, sir. That was encouraging. To add to this, dear students, you should know that printing has evolved over the different industrial eras, from industry 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and now 4.0. We are in the smart factory era, which means we have to embrace artificial intelligence and IoT. If you see graphic design, you can see automatically created images on the website. So if we are behind technology, then the technology will overtake us. If we run with the technology, we are in pace with the technology. So my humble request is all of you should adapt technology and continue running with it. Thank you. The next question.
Second year. So my question is how 3D printing will change the world, and how we can print multiple substrates at the same time in 3D printing. Is there possible we can print in future multiple substrates in 3D printing at the same time?
Actually, I am not very familiar with the 3D printing yet. Maybe Mr. Dekar can help here some.
Well, I'm also not very familiar on this subject, so I don't have anything to say on this matter. But I believe that will not affect in any substrate, whether you print on low grammage or high grammage.
Okay. Anybody else? International speakers, can you share your view?
Okay, but what I can try, not in this conference, but I have some connection with 3D Printers Association of Malaysia. I can ask them this question and get back to you later.
Regarding 3D printing, basically its name is printing, it's not a printing. It's an additive manufacturing technology. When I say manufacturing technology, you cannot have the multiple copies. With 3D, you can make anything. You can make building, you can make anything. Today's benches are being created with the 3D, even in small cities also. The days are gone when the dies are made, but one denture which can fit one person. In printing, we made multiple copies. Yesterday, I told the story of the printing. Printing was started to give knowledge to so many people. So its name is printing because we are following the inkjet technology in it. Just like inkjet, instead of ink, some other thing is dropped. For example, everybody has seen the inkjet printer. Just see, if we hold the paper by hand and start the machine, what will happen? हमने इंकजेट प्रिंटर चला दिया, वो कागज एक एक करके आगे जाता है ना, स्टेप बाय स्टेप. हमने कागज पकड़ लिया, फिर क्या होगा? अगर आप उसको होल्ड कर लेंगे ना, तो लेयर बन जाएगी. दिस इज द टेक्नोलॉजी. अब इंक की जगह उसके अंदर चॉकलेट डाल दी, क्या होगा? चॉकलेट की लेयर बन जाएगी. That's why it is called 3D printing. लेकिन एक बार एक ही चॉकलेट बनेगी. अगर मल्टीपल कॉपी करनी तो क्या करना पड़ेगा? बहुत सारे प्रिंटर लगाने पड़ेंगे, या फिर एक प्रिंटर को बार बार करना पड़ेगा. लेकिन बार बार करने से अगर सपोज करो आपको एक चॉकलेट बनानी है, आफ्टर ऑल उसको टाइम लगेगा ना. पहले वो उसकी लेंथ, ब्रेड्थ और हाइट बनाएगा. कैड कैम कौन जानता है आप में से? इंकजेट टेक्नोलॉजी एंड कैड कैम. प्रिंटिंग में हम क्या छापते हैं? हम 2 डायमेंशन छाप सकते हैं, 3rd डायमेंशन नहीं छाप सकते। हाइट प्रिंटिंग में एक ही होती है ना डायमेंशन, नजर आ सकती है पर एक्चुअल नहीं होती। तो 3rd डायमेंशन क्रिएट करने के लिए किससे एक सॉफ्टवेयर है, दैट इज कैड, जिसके अंदर पार्ट्स वगैरह बनते हैं। तो 3rd डायमेंशन उससे ऐड कर देते हैं, यानी कि मेरे को इतनी विड्थ, इतनी लेंथ और इतनी हाइट चाहिए। प्रिंटर एक इस तरह से बनाया गया जिसको मैं प्रिंटर कह ही रहा हूं, उसकी वो स्टैंड होता है लेकिन ऊपर नीचे हो जाता है, जैसे जैसे छपता रहेगा और नीचे होता रहेगा। ये इंकजेट की तरह चलेगा। ये बिल्डिंग कंस्ट्रक्ट होती है, दैट इज द थिंग। हाउ टू यूज 3D प्रिंटिंग इन प्रिंटिंग, कमर्शियल प्रिंटिंग। आपने बुक प्रिंट की, मैडम इज द राइटर, यू कैन प्रिंट अस बस्ट, इनकी बिल्कुल शक्ल बना के ऊपर लगा दी, तो दैट्स अ न्यू थिंग।
Next question.
Sir, I have one more question. That how we can, what are the modern technologies in offset printing, and what are the upcoming technologies in offset printing technology in future?
What are the upcoming techniques in offset printing?
In fact, new additions are being added to the offset, and the machines are getting hybrid. Like digital machines are also being incorporated along with the offset, and inline operations are being added to the offset, like inline embossing, inline numbering and all. So we are making it much more hybrid to add the digital technology, digital machine along with the offset, and making it more automated, and adding inline finishing operations along with. Even inline quality monitoring systems are being added. Okay. So as a summary, we can say more automation, more inline operations in offset, and getting it hybrid, and to reduce the manpower requirements, new buttons, and we say automation like things are coming.
Thank you, everybody. The discussion was very good. We will continue the discussion after tea. May I request the international speakers to have tea at their end. We will have a day when we all will meet and have a common tea with networking.
Okay. Thank you. And if anyone want to come to Thailand to see our printing industry, please, I will be happy to do my best for you.
मेरे पास एक नोवल आइडिया आया कि क्यों ना हम ऐसे बंदे को बुलाए जो यहाँ पर नोएडा से बाइक पर आया, something new has done, and he is not a unknown to the printing, unknown to the technology, expert है और लंदन कॉलेज ऑफ प्रिंटिंग के पढ़े हुए हैं. I would like to call Siddharth, if he is there. Siddharth sir. Okay, please. So वो लंदन कॉलेज ऑफ प्रिंटिंग के पढ़े हुए हैं. लंदन कॉलेज का आप नाम लंदन कॉलेज ऑफ प्रिंटिंग नहीं रहा हो अलग बात है. Siddharth, so that we should be able to make this meeting more lively. तो हमारे पास सिद्धार्थ जी हैं, आपको इस बात का भी रिप्लाई करेंगे कि बाइक पर क्यों आए. सिद्धार्थ जी आइए प्लीज.
ठीक है जी. ओके. तो मैं प्रिंटर भी हूँ और स्टूडेंट भी रहा हूँ आप ही की तरह. तो मुझे आपको देख के ना वही पुराने दिन याद आ रहे थे. हिंदी ठीक है ना? शुक्र है आपने मेरे को कंफर्टेबल कर दिया. एक बारी ताली बजा सकते हो? ओके. बहुत बढ़िया ताली बजाई. और कल मैं देख रहा था पार्टी में भी बड़ी अच्छी तालियां बज रही थी. कमी कहाँ थी मालूम है? बताओ ना, कहाँ कमी थी तालियों की? हाँ,
जब फैसिलिटेट कर रहे थे। अच्छा, आप मेरे साथ ताली बजा सकते हो क्या? ना आगे ना पीछे, मेरे साथ, ठीक है? अच्छा, मैं यहां से बजाऊंगा ताकि आप सबको दिखे। आप यहां से, ठीक? हाँ, एक आवाज चाहिए। एक और ट्राई मारना है,
देखेंगे
इसके बारे में बात करेंगे। हाँ, ठीक, तैयार? तैयार? रेडी? हाँ जी। अच्छा, रेडी? बेटर? अच्छा था ना पहले से? एक बार और? नहीं था इस बार। देखो, जैसे ही बोला बेटर हो गया, क्या हुआ? हो गया काम। इस चीज का ध्यान रखना, ठीक है ना? अभी बता रहे थे ना कमल जी अबाउट लर्निंग, नो, एंड व्हाट यू वांट टू बी इन लाइफ। थोड़ी सी अंग्रेजी चल जाएगी ना? सारे स्पीकर्स को सुन के मैं भी मोटिवेट हो गया अंग्रेजी बोलने। ठीक, तो ये डिसीजन आपका है, आप जिंदगी में क्या करना चाहते हो। पत्ता ग्रोथ का, राइट? Each seed has a DNA to sprout into numerous other plants and propagate. ज्यादा अंग्रेजी मत क्या? समझ में आ गई ना बात? कि हर सीड में वो एक क्षमता होती है एक पूरे फॉरेस्ट बनने की। That is a potential each one of you has. But the decision where you want to be in life is in your hands, in nobody else's hands. So वापस ताली पे आए? Yes, sir. Ready? Yes, sir. Ready? One, two, three. Ready? Yes, sir. Stop. अभी कैसा है मन आपका, ये बताना। अच्छा लग रहा है? खाली किसके लिए बजाई आपने? हाँ, हाँ, हो सकता है इसके लिए बजाई हो, लेकिन लगा किसको अच्छा? समझ रहे हो ना क्या बोल रहा हूं मैं? So what you do affects your mindset. It affects you. You don't do it for somebody else. You do it for yourself. बड़ा मेरे को अच्छा लगा जब आप लोगों ने यहाँ पर रंगारंग कार्यक्रम किया, and I was seeing some of the dancers totally in their own space. It was so wonderful to see you all there. Amazing. एक ताली बनती है। I have just one message for you. Whatever you do in life, do it with passion. क्या? Do it with passion. Why? मेरी बात मत मानो भाई, क्वेश्चन करो क्यों, व्हाई शुड यू डू इट विद पैशन? हाँ, अच्छे से कर पाएंगे, ओके, हाँ, पूरा एफर्ट दे पाएंगे, और हाँ, सेटिस्फैक्शन रहेगा, और फॉर माय फ्यूचर इमेज, ओके, और हाँ, ट्रस्ट बनेगा, ओके, और इंटरेस्ट बनेगा, अच्छा इंटरेस्ट बनेगा, बढ़िया, ठीक, और बताओ पीछे, सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ेगा, राइट? द होल गेम इज अबाउट योरसेल्फ, इट्स नॉट अबाउट द एक्सटर्नल वर्ल्ड एट ऑल। बाहर क्या हो रहा है वो ठीक है, होता रहेगा, कोई बात नहीं, लेकिन मुद्दा क्या है, मुझे कैसा फील हो रहा है, मेरे में क्या क्षमता है, मैं उस क्षमता को पूरी तरह जी पा रहा हूं, जी पा रही हूं या नहीं, ये कह रहा हूं कि नहीं? और इस ऑन दिस पाथ देयर आर लॉट ऑफ चैलेंजेस आल्सो। किसी ने कुछ कह दिया, दिमाग खराब हो गया, नहीं, किसी ने टांग खींच दी, अच्छे नंबर नहीं आए, ऑल दीज थिंग्स। और बताओ ना, बताओ क्या क्या चीजों से परेशान होते हो, आप ही बताओ यार, बोलो बोलो बोलो।
बहुत कम समय में अधिक से अधिक असाइनमेंट मिल जाना।
ओके, बहुत कम समय में अधिक से अधिक असाइनमेंट मिल जाना, समझ नहीं आती करूं कैसे मैं, और बताओ है कंपैरिजन, उसकी शर्ट मेरे से सफेद कैसी, ऐसा ना एक पुराने जमाने में। और देखो मुद्दे की बात करते हैं। हाँ
सर, सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग?
क्या बात है, सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग, क्या फर्क पड़ता है बताओ? यू नो दिस इज द बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम इन लाइफ फॉर अस। सबसे बड़ा रोग बिल्कुल, मैंने जानबूझ के गलत बोला, क्यों? देखो immediately you caught that, isn't it? Same way people will catch you for different things, doesn't matter. If you are comfortable in your space in your life, then nothing can shake. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So what you have to do, you have to find your space, what works for you. Don't listen to what I am saying. What works for me will be different from what works for you. Are you getting what I am saying? और आप में से कुछ लोग ऐसा करते ही होंगे, कुछ लोग स्पोर्ट्स करते हैं, कुछ लोग जैसे हमने देखा डांस करते हैं अपनी स्पेस में आने के लिए। कौन क्या देख रहा है? जब आप यहाँ सच बताना, शुरू में जो डांसर्स थे हमारे यहाँ पर, जब स्टेज में आए थोड़ी सी स्टेज फाइट हुई, शायद कितना लोगों को हुई? Once you started, what happened after that? बोलो। फिर कोई डर नहीं, और वो दिख रहा था आप लोगों के चेहरों पे, वो दिख रहा था कि अब अपनी स्पेस में आ गए, अब कोई हूटिंग हो या बूटिंग हो कोई फर्क, बस इस स्पेस को अपने आप ढूंढ लो, काम बन जाए, ठीक है ना? एंड नेवर स्टॉप लर्निंग इन लाइफ। जैसे कमल जी कह रहे हैं, देखो यू नो ही इज अ परफेक्ट एग्जांपल। आई हैव सीन हिम ओवर द इयर्स, लास्ट ऑलमोस्ट 25 years, 30 years, नहीं कमल जी? He is always learning, and yesterday I was told he is getting a doctorate now, so it will be Dr. Kamal. At this stage and age, the passion that he has to learn, amazing, absolutely, something to learn. Make sense? अरे हाँ या ना? एक बारी और? Yes, sir.
So friends, that was Siddharth. Big clap for him. Yes. Thank you, Siddharth, for motivating our students. Thank you very much. Thank you. तो जैसे मैं बात कर रहा था, सॉरी, हाँ वो सिद्धार्थ, एक बात रहेगी, बाइक की क्या स्टोरी है? Why you came by bike? You forgot to tell. For this, before he comes here, I would like to call his brother also. I would like to call his brother also. Yeah, please, sir.
सर बाइक में सिर्फ वो एक ही के लिए सीट बनी है वो. So you know why on the bike? I tell you, it's about living your passion. और ऐसा नहीं कि परेशानी नहीं हुई, बहुत परेशानी हुई, खूब जूते पड़े घर में, बच्चों ने भी खूब खिंचाई करी. Dad, you're 60 now. You should do something. Think about your life. I said, वही तो कर रहा हूँ यार मैं. I am living my life. That is the key. I used to bike in my earlier days when I was in college. आपकी तरह. तो जब आपकी तरह था तभी थोड़ी बहुत मोटरसाइकिल चलाता था. फिर life happened, wife happened, and kids happened, and work happened, and printing happened in my life, which took away all the joy to begin with only. Because it's hard work to begin. Whenever you start a new career, it's a little hard, isn't it? Yeah. And you make some mistakes and you learn by those mistakes. So dhire dhire you come forward. But after I have been through this whole gamut of life, I decided I have to live life to the fullest once again. And that is what I would encourage you to do also. Live your passions. Doesn't matter whether you make money out of it or not. If you make money out of it, very good.
Big clap for both of them. मैं एक बात और है बीच में, इनका जो प्रेस और रेजिडेंस नोएडा में है, नोएडा से यहाँ 200 किलोमीटर 250 किलोमीटर
175.
लेकिन सितंबर में ही इज गोइंग 1800 किलोमीटर टू मणिपाल ऑन बाइक. Already he had decided. September we are holding this type of conference at Manipal. Welcome, Rista madam. So Rista, big clap for the Rista. She's there. चलो बच्चों हम फिर टेक्निकल पर आते हैं. अब हमारे पास जो स्पीकर है, ही इज फ्रॉम नेपाल. जैसे मैं आपको पहले बता रहा था, ही इज प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ फेडरेशन ऑफ नेपाल प्रिंटर एसोसिएशन. जैसे इंडिया में ऑल इंडिया फेडरेशन ऑफ मास्टर प्रिंटर्स है, उस तरह ही नेपाल के अंदर भी एक प्रिंटर्स की फेडरेशन है एंड ही इज द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ दैट फेडरेशन. नेपाल और इंडिया के जो रिलेशन है एक भाई भाई की तरह है. हम लोग भी रिसोर्सेज उनके यूज करते हैं और आपके पास नेपाल के बहुत से लोग हैं जो इंडिया में काम कर रहे हैं. पैरेलल टू दैट नेपाल के अंदर काफी मशीनरी और मटेरियल इंडिया से जाता है. मैं बुलाना चाहूंगा खोम कांति रेग्मी सर को जोरदार तालियों के साथ. जरा प्लीज बिग क्लैप फॉर खोम कांति सर.
थैंक यू सर. नमस्ते.
नमस्कार सर.
थैंक यू. नमस्ते. नमस्ते सर. आई वांट टू लाइक स्पीकिंग टू हिंदी. नमस्ते सभी जना को. प्रिसाइडिंग ऑफिसर, चीफ गेस्ट एंड ऑल द स्पीकर्स and हमारे respected person प्रोफेसर कोमल चोपड़ा सर, all the student who is attendance to there. नेपाल एक भूपरिवेष्टित देश है. आप जानते होंगे भूपरिवेष्टित देश इस दक्षिण में, पूर्व में और पश्चिम में इसका भारत रहता है बड़ा देश, और उत्तर में इसका चीन दूसरा बड़ा देश है. और यहाँ का पॉपुलेशन करीब 3 करोड़ है और ये डेवलपिंग कंट्री है. हमारा देश भारत और चीन से बहुत गुना कम है. हमारा देश में बहुत धर्मावलंबी है, बहुत धर्म मानते हैं. वैसे भी हमारा देश में हिंदू धर्म मानने वाला ज्यादा है. और यहाँ का लोगों का मुख्य पेशा जो है एग्रीकल्चर. ये हो गया नेपाल का शॉर्ट इंट्रोडक्शन. और प्रिंटिंग सेक्टर में हम बताते हैं नेपाल बहुत कमजोर अवस्था में है. यहाँ अधिकतम ज्यादा से ज्यादा प्रिंटिंग का मशीन है भारतीय है, जो जैसे आप अभी कमल चोपड़ा सर ने बताया था. और गांव में, दुर्गम क्षेत्र में, जो पहाड़ों में, इसका तरफ ये इंडियन सिंगल कलर का, डबल कलर का मशीन लगा रहे हैं. फिर भी नेपाल के मुख्य शहर हैं जो काठमांडू, ललितपुर, भक्तपुर, और यहाँ का जो इंडस्ट्रियल सेक्टर है जहाँ थोड़ा बहुत इंडस्ट्री में आगे है, वहाँ हाइडल वर्क चेक मशीन भी लगा रखे हैं. फिर भी जितना प्रोडक्शन कर पाते हैं, जितना प्रोडक्शन चाहते हैं, नेपाल में उतना प्रोडक्शन नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. तो यहाँ का एक समस्या है यहाँ का एक कच्चा पदार्थ, यहाँ का रॉ मटेरियल सारी बाहर से लाना पड़ेगा। जो नेपाल में उत्पादन होने वाला, नेपाल में प्रोडक्शन होने वाला पेपर है, वो भी अच्छा तरह के पेपर नहीं उत्पादन हो सकता है। और अच्छा पेपर हम लोग भारत से, बांग्लादेश से, चाइना से, मलेशिया से, दूसरी तीसरी कंट्री से हम लोग लाते हैं। फिर भी जो काम और हम लोग यहाँ पर करते हैं, पेपर उत्पादन का काम अच्छी तरह से नहीं हो पा रहा है। फिर भी हम लोग बाहर से पेपर ले आकर प्रेस चलाते हैं, छपाई के काम करते हैं, और छपाई के काम में बहुत घटती जा रहा है। छपाई की काम नेपाल में बहुत कम हो रहा है। नेपाल और भारत दूसरा एक देश आमने सामने है। जैसे ज्यादा से ज्यादा चीज हम लोग भारत से लाते हैं, इंडिया से आती है, रॉ मटेरियल सारे इंडिया से आते हैं, सब में मशीन का पार्ट्स वगैरह सब इंडिया से आते हैं। इलेक्ट्रीशियन काम करने, ऑपरेटर काम करने, टेक्नीशियन सारी बहुत ही लोग इंडिया से आते हैं। बाहर का लोग बहुत कम है। नेपाल से भी उनका प्रोडक्ट, नेपाल में उतना आदमी, उतना जानने वाला आदमी बहुत कम है। जैसे हम लोग का प्रिंटर्स में ऑपरेटर, टेक्नीशियन, प्लीज हमारे यहाँ कोई नेट का प्रॉब्लम है उनके लिए, इसीलिए भारत से जो सामान आता है, और नेपाल गवर्नमेंट का जो भंसार का पॉलिसी है वो जरा कमजोर है। जो प्रिंटेड सामान आता है, प्रिंटेड सामान को कम भंसार में आता है, कम भंसार दर में नेपाल आता है। जो रॉ मटेरियल है, रॉ मटेरियल को ज्यादा पैसा लगता है। इसीलिए भी हमारा नेपाल का काम है जो बहुत कम घटते जा रहा है। फिर दूसरी बात ये है, जो पहले भी यहाँ पर बात हो चुकी है, कोविड-19 का कारण विश्व में हुआ जो समस्या है, नेपाल में भी वैसे ऑनलाइन क्लास का प्रारंभ हो रहा है। इसलिए नेपाल में भी वो बुक प्रिंटिंग का काम और अदर प्रिंटिंग का काम सारा कम हो रहा है। तो काम वगैरह ऑनलाइन से आगे बढ़ रहा है। ऑनलाइन से जो आगे बढ़ रहा है, इसलिए प्रिंटिंग सेक्टर में ज्यादा काम नहीं हो पा रहा है। पैकेजिंग और लेबल प्रिंटिंग के लिए कुछ आगे है, फिर भी ज्यादा प्रिंटिंग के लिए बहुत कम पड़ रहा है अभी। तो समस्या क्या है कि यहाँ पर जो प्रोडक्शन करने हैं, जो प्रिंटिंग का काम जो आगे बढ़ता है, प्रिंटिंग जो होता है, इसलिए क्वालिटी कंट्रोल और आपको
I think there is some connectivity problem on their side.
इसलिए भी यह मैं सबको, सब स्टूडेंट्स को भी अनुरोध करता हूं कि नेपाल में आप लोगों को टेक्नीशियन और ये पढ़ाई होने के विषय में और जानने के लिए, सिखाने के विषय में हम लोग एक दूसरे से संबंध करके आगे बढ़ने के लिए अनुरोध भी करता हूं। धन्यवाद।
Dhanyavad, sir. I would like to translate what he said. So having a very good relationship between India and Nepal, he says much of the raw material, much of the machinery and much of the manpower comes from India. There is a lot of decline in printing and packaging due to the COVID and other reasons, and also due to the online activities in recent years. So there he looks forward for collaboration, more collaboration between India and Nepal. We would like to have suggestions and ideas from printers here, as well as from printers connected online. As an academician myself, sir, we would like to help your students in printing with online classes or other technical activities. Anytime you can approach us for whatever kind of training you require, be it for the printers or for the students in your country.
थैंक यू। हम लोग क्या चाहते हैं, मैं हिंदी में बोल रहा हूँ। बोले मैडम।
यदि आपको ट्रेनिंग के लिए आपकी छात्रों को या आपकी इंडस्ट्री का लोगों को ट्रेनिंग चाहिए, तो ये प्रिंटिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स से हम आपको ट्रेनिंग करने के लिए रेडी हैं।
थैंक यू। हम भी यही चाहते हैं ना, यहाँ पर नेपाल में चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स, नेपाल चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स और नेपाल फेडरेशन ऑफ प्रिंटिंग एसोसिएशन ऑफ नेपाल दोनों मिलके जॉइंट में एक ये 2-4 महीने के बाद में नेपाल में ट्रेनिंग कराने के लिए हम लोग सोच बना रहे हैं। हम लोग आप लोग से और आप ये इंडिया फेडरेशन ऑफ ये मास्टर प्रिंटर्स, अब ये टेक्नीशियन लोग जो इंस्टीट्यूट है वहां से हम लोग ये संबंध करके आप लोग से अनुरोध करके हम लोग क्या कर सकते हैं, इसको आगे बढ़ाने के लिए आपका सहयोग भी चाहते हैं और हमें आगे बढ़ाने के लिए भी सोच भी रहे हैं।
जरूर हमारे AIFMP का प्रेसिडेंट यहाँ हुए हैं, उनके इनिशिएशन से प्रिंटिंग इंडस्ट्रीज और प्रिंटिंग कॉलेजेस एक साथ मिलकर आपको ट्रेनिंग के लिए प्लान करेंगे।
थैंक यू।
Do we have any other suggestions from the printers sitting here? Students, would you like to ask any questions? We understand that Nepal needs a helping hand. They need skill power. So is there any of you who are willing to go there as interns and carry out some research work or do some skill-oriented activities there?
धन्यवाद सर। अगर छात्रों का कोई इस बारे में क्वेश्चंस हैं तो दे में आस्क। और सर जैसा कि आपने कहा कि अगर यहाँ भारत में जितने भी ट्रेनिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स हैं और टेक्निकल इंस्टीट्यूट्स हैं, यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं, अगर आपको किसी भी समय पे किसी भी तरह की ट्रेनिंग, बेशक वो इंडस्ट्रीज फ्रंट पे हो या फिर एकेडमिक फ्रंट पे हो, तो हम उसके लिए हमेशा तत्पर हैं। और आप कभी भी अगर हमें इस तरह की रिक्वायरमेंट देंगे तो हम अपनी तरफ से पक्का इसको इंश्योर करेंगे कि आपको उत्तम गुणवत्ता की ट्रेनिंग उपलब्ध करवाई जाए। धन्यवाद सर।
धन्यवाद, बहुत अच्छी बात है सर।
कमल जी वांट्स टू से समथिंग आई थिंक।
कोमकांता सर, मैं ऐसे करता हूँ, हमारे जो प्रेसिडेंट है ऑल इंडिया फेडरेशन मास्टर प्रिंटिंग, उनको बुलाता हूँ। वो हमें, चंद्र सर आइए सर, प्लीज कम। कोमकांता सर ये कह रहे हैं, ही इज टेलिंग दैट कैन वी क्रिएट ए प्लेटफॉर्म दैट Nepalese student can learn, and since they are using the maximum machinery and the maximum paper from India, they are using the technology available in India. They say how AFMP can help us.
Sir, AFMP can help them in all, guiding them to whatever is possible and using the resources in India. We all know that Nepal is a locked country by mountains and everything. The only possible way of transport is all through India only. So even the government is aware of it, and we are also aware of what exactly the problems faced by Nepal. So the material supplies has to go through from India. So AFMP can guide them. If they make a joint effort, that is collectively the Nepal printers can join together to get a better deal in plates, chemicals, inks, and other paper resources also. Whatever we have, we can guide them. We can give them the bulk suppliers so that they can utilize the better margins and do a better job on this.
I have an idea. Can't we do a dual country meeting, Indo-Nepal meeting, so that if they have some problem, they can come, or we can go there, we can sit together.
Sure.
And we can deliberate the problem practically, I think so. Those countries are, yeah, you can say.
Yeah, definitely, sir. We can have a twinning program between Nepal and India on technical basis, on commercial viability of materials purchasing, because that is going to be the daily breadwinner. And all the latest technologies, whatever Indian printers are having, and the better is the skill development what we have with our workforce, which is very really amazing workforce we have. We can take our people there, give them a small demonstration of a 2-day course or something like that. If Nepal people, I mean, it's like more like a twinning program we can do for a 2-day or a 3-day or a 4-day course. We can start with Zoom meetings and everything, and then make a physical meeting also along with them.
थैंक यू सर, ये बहुत अच्छी बात है। हम लोग भी यही चाहते हैं कि और नेपाल के लिए और ये भारत का जो जितना टेक्नीशियन जितना जो भारत जितना आगे है प्रिंटिंग सेक्टर में, उतना उसके बारे में कुछ नेपाल के लोगों को भी वो जानकार करवा दिए और टेक्नीशियन और ग्राफिक लोग सब लोगों को कुछ ट्रेनिंग करवा दिए। तो हम लोग भी उसमें आप लोग से साथ रहकर साथ मिलकर जा सकते हैं। ये आपको लोगों को ये जो आप बताए हैं, ये हम आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ, बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ। हम लोग मिल के ये काम आगे बढ़ाने चाहता हूँ।
For international speaker, I would like to say, Khemkanti sir said that since talent is available more in India than Nepal, and if we can collaborate, the Nepal printing industry can be flourished.
Yes.
Now the president have to say something.
Yes, sir. As you are aware that technical knowledge and skill development is skill in printing is available at a larger resource in India. We will definitely make it a point to train your workers also by giving hands-on demonstration at your own place, by bringing in 2 experts or 4 experts from pre-press, press and post-press. We can bring them and give education, and then you can collect all your younger generation or your sons, daughters, or your nephews or nieces who are youngsters who want to learn and who are keen on doing printing as their main business or main education. We can advise them to go to any part of India where there are a lot of technical institutes from diploma to engineering and self-financing colleges are there. If your students don't get any required marks, we can work out on all these things on a visa-based basis by the government, whether we will be getting the student visas or something like that. All those technical issues we can draw out now itself. So the students are of Nepal will be really benefited in doing print media, and everywhere all the institutes are changing their names. Instead of the conventional print, they're either going to media or packaging, or they adding it to give them value added and make it more attractive to the younger generation. So Mr. Regmi of Nepal, we are open to any discussions. We'll definitely, along with Kamalji, we can come one of these days. And of course, we are inviting you for the FABGA meeting also, which is going to be scheduled during the May month. So if you have, we can discuss this. If you come a day earlier, we can discuss all these things in private, and we can iron out a lot of issues and make a white paper on this. And we can also do it because Mr. Kamal Chopra is very keen on bringing in the younger generation. And he has been making a lot of inroads in North and as well as in South, bringing the younger generation into printing fold. So thank you. We look forward to more interaction with you.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सर, अच्छा बात है जी। नहीं, मैं तो ये चाहता हूँ, ये हम लोग ये कैसे कर सकते हैं कि ये सारे लोग हैं यहाँ पर, हम लोग सारे देश के लोग 5-7 मुल्क के बैठे हैं। हम लोग का ये प्रिंटिंग में कमी आने के 2-3 कारण है। ये कारण ये भी है कि हम लोग जो एडवर्टाइजमेंट ये फेसबुक और ये जो नेटवर्किंग से कर रहे हैं, ये भी हमारे लिए बहुत ये प्रिंटिंग के सेक्टर में कुछ हानिकारक है। ये गवर्नमेंट लोग ने इनको, हम लोग ने जो पैसे जो है लगाते हैं, सारी पैसा जो ये गूगल ये चलाते हैं, इनके साथ चले जाएंगे। जो यहाँ पर जो रहते हैं हम लोग, हमारे साथ कुछ नुकसान है, ये बारे में हम कुछ 1-2 लाइन बताए हैं, इसमें कोई क्या है?
Okay, for the international guest, I would like to tell what Khemkanti said. He says that internet, especially these advertisement, online advertisement are disturbing, and with the increasing revenue of the online advertisement, the print is decreasing, and what we can do. But that was his question. Khemkanti sir, हम इंटरनेट को तो बंद नहीं कर सकते, but we cannot close the internet, but we can be part of internet. We can include internet in printing. Already, you know, AR is happening and many things are happening. We can include internet to the printing, so that jointly we can progress. As our president was saying, the name of printing is changing now. It is now named Indian graphic communication, photography, journalism, language, everything in one field, because it is a communication through graphics. The printing name is changing, so that those all technology must be collaborated. We can't say that you don't give ad and Facebook or everything, but print has a value. Print has a remembrance which they don't have. Real people will start realizing Already it is started happening in the West. More books are being printed and revenue of online advertising is decreasing. That's a good news for us. And maybe when you will be coming in May during some international meeting, practically we will discuss these things. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So one more session and one more presentation is left on the printing industry of Bhutan and scope for collaboration. Our speaker for this presentation is Mr. Pema Gile. He is the leader of Bhutan Printers Association. Mr. Pema Gile joined as marketing officer in 2012 and currently serving as manager for printing department for last 2 years. Graduated with bachelor's degree in business administration from Royal University of Bhutan, and under his majesty scholarship did postgraduate in communication from Symbiosis Deemed University Pune. I invite you, sir, and over to you, sir. Please.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Honorable Chief Guest, Honorable President of the Association, distinguished member participants, and the students of Central University of Haryana, a warm good afternoon from Bhutan. So today I'm here joined by my CEO as well as my General Manager. And it's a privilege and honor for Kunsal Corporation Limited to represent Bhutan printing industry in this conference, Future Printing and Scope for India. And I'm actually delighted and humbled to receive opportunity to share some information on Bhutan printing industry. So in this talk, I'll share about the history of printing culture in Bhutan and how it started and where we are as of now and the scope for collaboration. So many written history and biography of eminent teachers suggest that printing culture in Bhutan dates back to the 14th century. So the technology used during 14th century were the primitives where we have used a slate printing, woodblock curving printing as well. So these practices have been continued till 17th century, and by 17th century, it becomes more popular, that wood carving culture has become more popular and practiced throughout the country, especially by the monastic or religious institution. So during that century, the printing culture in Bhutan is associated with the religion, especially Buddhism. So they actually practice the wood carving of wood block to meet their own necessity things. So in 1965, Common Press actually published the first national language newspaper, which marks the importance of disseminating information to the citizens. So this is the first where the newspaper comes in. So gradually it started the building up for the printing industry. So in 1967, Bhutan launched its first English edition newspaper. So that time we have little bit improved in our technology and we use typewriter to publish our newspaper. So in 1976, under the UNICEF scholarship, 4 Buddhists were trained in India and Nepal in photolithography, trainings on block making and offset printing as well. So by 1977, the country received a first single color offset printing machine, Heidelberg SORM machine. It was granted by UNICEF. So in 1978, the Bhutan government took the education printing project that education textbook and all should be printed within the country. So before that, I think our great neighbor India has provided all this support. And they opened a press in the southern Bhutan, which was later merged with the press in Thimphu. So in 1998, we procured another Heidelberg 2-color machine, SRM-Z, funded by the Danida. So in mid-2000 only, we could procure 4-color PM74 machine and CTP machine. That was the first in the country. So by end of the 19th century, so private players started finding that printing industry can be a lucrative one. So they started entering the market. And the present scenario of the printing industry in the countries, we have 4 large printers and about 15 to 20 small scale printers. So among the private, the Dukshiri press was the first private press to enter the printing market. So Kunsal Corporation being the oldest and the well-established printing firm in the country, So we provide the technical assistance to the members of the printing industry as well as human resources assistant. So the printing industry in Bhutan basically shares the market of government is the highest market share of the printing industry, which composites 80% of the market. So anything happens with the government spending, it is challenging for a printing industry to survive on. So 14% of the market is from corporation and NGO spending and 6% from the private. So challenges we face as of now is that shrink in print market. Like I said, 80% of the market share is from the government spending. So because of the pandemic and all the austerity measure adopted by the government, there is government spending is dropped by 60 to 50%, 50 to 60%. So which we are left with 30%. So the market is, the printing industry is fighting for remaining 30%, and corporation and NGO has completely decreased their spending on the printing, and as well as the private players, as well as the private markets. So another challenge we face is a technology shift. Like our members state that now the printer demand is on the rise. The digital printer is shift towards the digital printer. So which gives a printing. We are facing the challenge of fundability in this sense, a technology shift. So one thing that the major challenge we face is over dependent of the raw material and technology. We don't have manufacturing units who manufactures a paper in our country. We don't manufacture our printing machineries. So everything is dependent upon our neighbor. We have to export it. So it becomes quite challenging for us. And one thing is human resources. So the employees who are working in the printing industry in Bhutan are like, they have no qualification. They don't have a technical background. So whatever they learn is on job. So we don't have an education policy where the students or youth can take printing as a major course. So this is a huge challenge for printing industry in the country. So now keeping in the mind of challenges and all, so we are hoping to collaborate in terms of technology, in terms of human capacity building, in terms of strategic partnership, where we can build acquire a technology, research and development, manufacturing, and global penetration, market expansion. So with this, I hope that our members could provide us the opportunity for collaboration in terms of training, in terms of scholarship, and so on. So thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your presentation. That was a neatly drafted roadmap of the printing in Bhutan, along with the listing of your challenges and what you're expecting from us. May I request our printing industry persons printing industry people to answer your questions. In the meantime, we are happy to welcome Dr. Professor Anayat, Vice Chancellor of the Crust University. Now the floor is open for answering the challenges opened by the printers of Bhutan. They are looking for collaboration in terms of technological support, in terms of human capacity building and strategic partnership.
Very good afternoon, Mr. Pema Gele. We'll be much obliged to extend all our support in capacity building of your staff and the students, if you have anybody. We can enter into a twinning program with AFMP, and we can have Kamal Chopra to head this whole thing. And we can work with a lot of our technology people and professors and from all over the institutes. Either you can send in group of people so that we can train them for a week or 7-day course or something like that, and then send them back. Or we can do on the spot training, bring in some specialists who are good in skill development programs or something like that. We can work out, course study, so that it will be most useful to you. It can be tailor-made to suit your purpose, and we can get this thing done. And you can also invite youngsters and third generation people, or from your family or anybody. We can bring them and we can give them, we can list out all the colleges and diploma centers and degree courses which are available in India, so that they can make a preference, and we can evaluate your students over there, and we can guide them where they have to go. We can give them a real career guiding principles. And as far as the commercial things are concerned, like pre-press, press and post-press, and guiding you technically what are the latest technology that has been taken place and everything, I think then means you will have to choose a few of your workers or your staff to send them here on a higher level. We can decide on what grade of staff you are studying. We can nearest place, where nearest metro or anywhere, where the accommodation and all those things we can take care of, and we can involve the Technova or plate making people or the digital people like Canon, HP and all those. We can bring them so that they can also see HP also has got a training center. Technova also has got a hands-on training center in India. We can bring them for a 3-day program so that they can improve their skill. Okay, you must all be doing, they must all be doing in a routine work of plate making and printing in a different style. It might be a little conservative or a primitive way of doing it, but there are things that they can improve themselves upon it, which can be given to them at a free of cost. We can work out all these things. Yes, sir. Any other questions you would like to pose? Mr. Pema.
No question, but thank you so much for the support.
So I hope you are satisfied with this. Thank you very much. We look forward to meeting you for the FABGA meeting, which is being scheduled in Delhi in the month of May. Currently, we are doing along with the IPAMA exhibition, that is Print Pack, which is one of the biggest exhibitions in the country. So we request you, if there is anything before that, you can share all these details with Kamalji or with AFMP, of course, and we can chart out so that things are made so easier. Thank you very much, sir.
With your permission, if I can make a comment, this is not a question per se. The government of India gives a lot of scholarship to Bhutan, and I think to other SAARC member countries like Nepal, Sri Lanka. So every year, a lot of students from these countries go to India to study in the field of agriculture, medicine, sports, whatever courses it's listed. As a request, since we're talking about helping each other in terms of building human resource capacity, we will try to do it from here through the Embassy of India. But if the association could also look into including studies in printing or printing technology or latest developments in printing technology as a course, as one of the many courses in the list of scholarships the government of India provides very generously to the SAARC member countries.
Yes, sir. We can add printing as also as one of the governments can give scholarship. We can add this name. We can write a representation to the government of India. We can do that. And as far as I am concerned, I have come to know that the few students around 15 years or 16 years back, they have studied in various institutes in India also from Bhutan. Yes, sir.
So,
anything else? Sir?
Like I was saying, every year, yes, every year at least I think hundreds go to India to study. But I'm not sure if anybody went to study anything related to printing or graphic design or the latest happenings in the printing industry. So if that could be also included as one of the fields of study in the scholarship granted by the government, we will also try to convince the Embassy of India here in Bhutan. But if this can be a two-way approach or a request, then I think this seems quite possible, not only for Bhutan, but for the other member countries, like I said in the beginning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, President Sir, for being very generous. And thank you, dear international speakers, for putting forward your questions and interacting with us. Now we've come to the end of this online session. It was a great event with all the countries close to India interacting on the subject of printing technology. We have had requests from your end, we have had requests from our students, and all of them have got a solution today, either as a first step solution or a concluding solution. You have invited our students to visit your countries as internship, to visit your presses. Thank you very much. And we are also ready to receive your people here for training as well as for higher education. Our All India Federation of Master Printers and the academic institutions in India are ready to handhold you for all your endeavors in printing. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us on this international conference.
So अभी तक हमने जो सेशंस देखे जिसमें अपने इंडिया से और आसपास के जितने कंट्रीज थे उनसे एक्सपर्ट्स आए, and if I sum up the whole session in a single line and what is the outcome of this conference, that the question every student, every print professional have in its mind, that what is the future of printing? That was also the theme of this conference. So as our respected speaker Narendra Parchuri sir said, that what we are printing today, it is going to double in the next 5 years. That shows that is in true sense a manifestation of future of printing. Whatever challenges are there, whatever issues are there, and in every aspect, like the pandemic situation, it has impacted every sphere of life. इसमें printing भी include है, बाकी भी include है. Challenges आए हैं, आते रहेंगे, but हमें survive करना है और thrive भी करना है. So that is the future of printing, and that is the outcome of this conference. And everyone has their own issues. So this conference is a single platform under one roof, that all the print professional, academicians, students, they converge on one platform and they find the ways through which we can find a solution to these problems. So thank you all the speakers, and this was from my side to conclude the whole sessions. Thank you.
We've come to the concluding session.
Now, actually, our technical session is over. We are there for the concluding ceremony. I would like to thank all the international guests for joining. You remain with us, and you can watch our concluding. We have with us today. He's not the Vice Chancellor, I tell you. He is the best painting teacher of the world. Big clap for him. Vice Chancellor is a very small thing. That's a post. But to be the best painting teacher, print guru, is much more than that. He has been awarded this award by USA. Dr. Naith is with us. Yes, his present post is Vice Chancellor, DCR University. That's the only post. But he is not a Vice Chancellor, he's a printer first. I know he loves printing from the heart. Sir, for international guests, we will invite him also. You can listen him also. He's a visionary in printing.
Maybe 4 to 5 fold in the coming time. The segment could be different. The applications could be different. The kind of skill sets, what you have to develop would be different. It's very clear. That's the only difference. Otherwise, industry is no way going to die. If print has to die in the sense, the world has to end. There is no other hope. So you don't need to worry about this industry at all. Only thing is, what you have to keep in your mind is like, what kind of skill sets you need to develop, what you need to look into for the future, that's all. So I don't want to mention anything on that, but being in Mahendergarh, I thought I must mention something else which is very relevant to Haryana and India. March 22nd was the World Water Day. All of you know about it, I am sure, just finished. Probably this is the only state in the whole country we have no rivers. We don't have any river in Haryana. What we have is only talabs, ponds. Our offset printing starts with oil and water do not mix together. It's not just with the printing, but any other field, engineering, social sciences, subjective sciences, objective sciences, without water, nothing will work out. This year, the motto was, make the invisible visible, especially on groundwater. This was the motto given by the world, by United Nations. In India, specifically to Haryana, we have only one river, that's a mythical river. We are still finding with a lot of research where it was exactly. It's called the Saraswati River in Haryana, which is not existing at all as of now. People are getting PhD out of it. It's just that has nothing to do any contribution for our water purpose. Almost 40 years ago, Haryana had 21,792 talabs here, typical ponds. I'm mentioning of those ponds which are 0.5 square kilometer more, 5 acres, sorry, 0.5 acre, half acre, total surface area and above. This is the actual number. And as of today, by 2020, I'm telling, 21 number I don't have, we have 18,500 ponds available in Haryana. Out of which only 462 ponds are usable. The rest are all polluted. More than 9,000 ponds in Haryana are polluted and overflowing. If you try to measure the coliform, that measurement instrument cannot do the measurement because after a few digits it stops. So you may have to design a new equipment to measure it. This is the situation in which 50% are overflowing, polluted and overflowing. Another 50% are polluted but not overflowing. Maybe 3,000 and odd for cattle and remaining. This is the typical situation. In 1970, on an average 10.7 feet, if you dig, on an average in Haryana, we were getting water, groundwater. Today it has gone up more than 29. Out of 120 blocks in Haryana, almost 70% blocks are in critical condition, in which one of the real critical places is Mahendergarh. Many places here you may have to go more than 350 feet in ground, for a borewell. Another interesting fact, not interesting, alarming fact, what I want to tell you is, if you add up all the borewells till today in the world, except India, multiply it with a 5. We have more borewell than that in India as of now. So if you take an aerial picture of India with the borewells, you will see a lot of holes in our map. It's actually you are troubling the Bhumi Devi. This is the biggest mistake what we are doing now. Quality of water is another part. I'm not a pseudo scientist to justify we were so good in everything before or not. But one interesting fact I want to share with you. Can you suggest a second word for water in English? If you take the synonym of water, what else you can say? H2O is different, it's a chemical name you are telling. Maybe aqua you can say, but aqua has also derived from, they say Greek, but it is from Sanskrit because it has gone from Sanskrit. If you ask me, how many words are there to describe water in Sanskrit? You have any idea? There are 70 words only to describe water. This is the direct words I'm talking about. And this 70 in Sanskrit, if you study Ashtadhyayi, Panini's Ashtadhyayi, that is the fundamental book for any grammar, for any language. You will see every word what we derived in India, in Bharat, has something to do with the avastha of that entity. So every water you cannot call jal. It's not correct. There is a word in Tamil, Madam may tell neer is a Tamil word. It's not a Tamil word at all, it's a Sanskrit word. The word neer in Sanskrit means when a water, it has a kinetic energy, if it can flow, if it can move, that is called neer. It's not gel. Gel is something which is just stable. That's called gel. So looking at the avastha, we derived the words. Every word has a meaning. So there are 4 different forms which we use in Sanskrit. So multiply 70 into 4. There are 280 words which can describe water alone. In Sanskrit, you see maximum number of synonyms for water, the word water, and the second comes to, any guess you wanted? Dharti, our bhumi, soil, that has got 65 words. So 65 into 4. So 280 words we had only to describe water. When a language develops words, you just tell me. When a language develops words only because you know about it, that particular thing so deep, it has something to do in your life. That's the reason you need a word. Otherwise, one water is enough to talk about water. So this was the understanding of what we have about water. And this is the actual avastha of water in Haryana today. So all of you have the responsibility, those who are from Haryana, even from outside your respective state, maybe somebody from Kerala also, blessed people, 44 rivers. Such a small state has blessed with the 44 rivers. But here we don't have anything. So there also a lot of things are going on. So one of the natural resources like water, focusing on water, preserving it, would be a duty of a printer too, because if water is not there, there is no printing. This understanding is very much needed. Here, that is why we have started a Talab Commission in Haryana, what we call it as a Pond Commission, Haryana Pond Commission. I am a member in that, so I know. Headed by the Chief Minister Saab himself, giving lot of priority to that, focusing into specific projects. So some of you people should also involve in some similar projects. Don't just restrict with your own printing alone, because there is, in the coming time, there is no existence in that way. Just with the one field you can't. When I did my printing graduation, or whatever I did 30 years ago, 35 years ago, I could manage with that almost my 15, 20 years of life. But today that is not possible. Every time it is changing. You have to talk about artificial intelligence. You have to talk about machine data. Prepress will 100% vanish. There is no prepress at all. You may have to interact with the cloud. Your machine itself is so intelligent, it can interact directly to cloud and it download the data and print it. Human involvement will go down a lot. So when it comes to this kind of stage, the society is also going to change. You must have heard a lot talking about Industry 4.0. I'm sure last 2 days somebody would have mentioned about it. Last 2015, it evolved in Germany. Today it is 7 years over now. Japanese have already moved to Society 5.0. It's betterment of the society. So if you are not a part of the society, there is no point in any technology at all. So we cannot sit aloof now. I managed with just an offset technology subject. I taught it many years and managed. It's, for me, everything is by heart in my brain. So I did the same lectures many years and managed. But today that is not possible. Things are really changing. For example, AI would be everywhere. There is no doubt. Maybe tomorrow when you go to Delhi, in another 5 years' time, I'm sure no one should be allowed to drive yourself. Impossible. There will be an AI-driven car. So commuting will be the next communication. There is no doubt. Automobile, you cannot have your own vehicle, first of all. There will be some state-owned systems to take you from point to point, like circular buses in US. Those who have traveled in US must have seen. You have green bus, red bus, everything. It will take you everywhere free. It will happen in Delhi also in the coming time. And if you want to drive your own car, probably you may have to pay more money. Otherwise, you won't be allowed. An AI system will be driving your car. So imagine when you move in a city like Delhi or anywhere, your system is AI driven, you are sitting behind. Suddenly a group of kids jumped in front of your car. Within a fraction of a second, the AI system has to take a decision whether the car should hit the kids or turn to left or right and hit on a wall or tumble into the valley and kill the owner himself. Because the kids could be 13 years, 14 years. They have a lot of things to contribute. The traveler is something like me, a person in the fourth phase of life, nothing else to do. So my AI-driven system will decide at a point of time, it's better to kill the owner himself rather than hitting these kids. This is the future. That's the reason we talk about values a lot today. In every education, we need to talk about value. Unless and until value is incorporated, no education has any value at all. It's very clear. That's why when I was doing my engineering, 90% of the subjects I did technical, hardly 10% or 5% I did social sciences. Today it is 60-40 or maybe 80-20. Out of the 40 also you have your own choice. UGC has already come up with a circular telling that 40% should be online. You must take it from anywhere you want. There is option you have. Future will be an AI doctor, no doubt. I have a friend in Germany. When I was talking to him, he was telling, when a patient comes to a doctor, he do the basic examination. Meantime, from the scanning report, what he gets, he put it in his laptop, mobile. And by the time he finishes all these basic examinations, this image would be compared with the millions of images. And that system will tell what is the nearest possibility of the disease of this guy. What is the best treatment to be given? And that too based on the location. You cannot have the same treatment what you give it to a European side or American side or an Atlantic side. Not possible. So what is best for Asian this side, it will come up. And that decision would be very, very fast. So the power of decision making has really gone up. Earlier, the most intelligent person could do maybe 68%. The most intelligent guy could an average decision making be 68. With an AI-based decision, can easily go up to 74-75%. We don't need to worry about anything. Also, all your disease can be predicted. Another 12 years, after 12 years, you may get a cancer. Today, I can predict. Actress Angela Jolie, you know it. She was predicted with a breast cancer after 12 years, 13 years, and she removed. And she's very happy, very healthy living many years ago. So the average lifespan of a human will cross 100, 110. Easily it will go. It's very evident. In 1921, the average lifespan of India was 37. And today we touched almost 68. And in Kerala, it is touching 81. For female, it is 81, 82. And gents, it could be 78, 79. And the highest alcoholic consumption per capita is also in Kerala. I am not promoting you to have any alcohol, don't tell that. But this has no correlation. These are all nonsenses. When you look at from the scientific perspective. No? So if in 100 years, 37 can go up to 68, today's whatever we talk about 80 will become 110, 115 by 2050. So this is also progressing a lot. So this is the world where you are going to live. And look at another thing. I'm just quoting few things from Yuval Noah Harari's book, 21 Lessons for the 21st Century. He's mentioning a lot of things. Look at democracy itself. Democracy has no meaning now. All these were very good maybe 50 years ago, not today. Reason being, all these days, nothing was able to touch down my skin. Up to skin was possible. Today, the system can touch even inside of my skin. My decisions are not mine. My decisions are somebody else. Professor Harari is explaining one of his experiences. He's a professor of history, in fact, in Tel Aviv. He was watching an advertisement for Pepsi and Coca-Cola one day. So suddenly he saw an ad of Pepsi with that traditional ad, with a beautiful boy and girl came and displayed the ad. But the Coke ad was specifically played for him, which was a gay couple. Reason being, Professor Harari is a gay. And that ended up there. And after 3-4 days, when he walked into a shopping mall to buy some provisions, wherein he had no plan to buy any soft drinks, but suddenly he noticed a lot of soft drinks are kept on the top of the rack. He automatically went and picked up some, which bottle? Coke bottles. Because his decision was already decided by somebody else before. It happens in every social media platform, whether it is Facebook, Twitter, anything you take, they all know much, much better than what you know about yourself. They know every moment of you, every moment. So there is no freedom. Freedom is to be redefined in the coming time. Freedom is not the freedom what we think today. We may have to redefine the freedom. We may have to redefine the democracy. Today it is just a number. It is just a number that decides, but it may not be right at all because every decision is influenced. It happens in many elections. You must have seen in US elections, Russian elections. Anyway, you can see that. So every individual has to be very, very careful in the coming time. The world is really going to change. And this is the world where we are going to live and work and function. So you as an engineer have a very, very serious job in the coming time. You cannot just sit as a particular branch. I am confined to this, which will not work out in the coming time. So you have to mold up yourself. Whatever you learn has no meaning after 4 years. Today, we people like us, I mean, the academicians are really in a trouble. We don't know what kind of syllabus I should give you after 4 years, because I don't know. A lot of new things will happen. And whatever I do today may be meaningless, may be obsolete, useless. This is the big issue. So its repercussion you will see in fields like printing too. So you can't sit aloof. Don't think that this is something different field because all your seniors have enjoyed 20, 25 years. You can't be lethargic, very clear, because that will never take you forward. So you have to keep all these in your mind and be very clear. So the role of the student is not remembering anything. Recently, a company came to my campus because luckily now I can see you, I mean, in real. Otherwise, 2 years we were in a virtual world thinking that somebody is listening as we were speaking to a dead screen. But today I can see all these lovely boys and girls in front of me. That itself gives us a lot of energy. So this company, when they came, it's called Fidelity. You must be knowing it's in Gurgaon, very big company. They have 3,000 employees here itself, UK company. I asked them, what is the criteria in your recruitment? Is it the best student, intelligent student you are going to recruit? They told, no, that's not the criteria at all. So what level you need? We need to know whether he has some basic knowledge or not, number one. Again, I am repeating, my dear friends, not an excuse not to study, okay? Study well. Repeating, don't quote this, that Vice Chancellor came from there. He spoke that there is no need of studying. No, no, no. Don't do that. What he said was, you need to have all the basic knowledge. Then what makes you different is, can you do a team building? Are you really committed? What is your feeling for the nation? what is your feeling for the world and society? All these going to matters a lot. And another thing, when I am in need of something, are you able to retrieve the data I am in need? This is the biggest question. He suggested me exactly this noise making instrument. If this is a mobile or a laptop, you can see. Suppose about a subject, I remember 90% in my brain. My neighbor remembers only 60%. Earlier in my time, the one who has 90% in brain was recruited. Today, it never happened. I have seen. The remaining 30%, what I don't have in my brain, I can retrieve from this noise-making instrument, which is there in your hand anytime, because information is ubiquitous. It is well within you. Your ability is how you are going to retrieve it at what time, how much time you will take, and are you able to analyze it and take an inference out of it. This is what is going to make you different, nothing else. So they do the test in such a way that are you able to gather the data and information as and when you are in need? Are you able to analyze it? Are you able to process it? Can you take a sensible inference out of it or not? This is the kind of testing they are doing. And I noticed the one thing, maybe 60–70% of the students who are recruited, they all were in the first class level, not above, but they are very active in many other activities, many social activities. Like some of them were singers, some of them were very good speakers, sportsmen, many other activities. So they could do it very well. So in the coming time, just the knowledge or information in your brain has no meaning. Very clear. What insight you have, how can you make a wisdom out of it? And using that wisdom, how you are going to convert it into your creativity. This is going to make you different at all. So every education as a printer, you cannot sleep like that. What your forefathers did or what your others have did, we all were lucky in fact. I was born at the right time. I managed with an offset printing, oil and water do not mix together. And I survived 25 years, 30 years. Now you can't do that. Because the data you're going to process itself is something different. There are common platforms everywhere. You may have to deal with the digital twin. You have to talk about sustainability. It is moving to a platform economy. Everything is moving to a platform economy. So it's not printing, cannot be away from that. You also have to get it ready from all these angles. And I'm sure all these great speakers and experts who spoke to you in the last couple of days must have clearly spoken about all these things. How you have to equip yourself, how you have to develop yourself to be there in the market in the coming time. And I used to tell this also to my students. Also look for a second option, not just printing alone. I mean, printing is one part. What extra you can extend it, you have a look. So that when the transition happens, you will be able to survive in a better way. You should look into that. Because single one field, there is nothing existing in that. Then you need to be the real forefront runner in that field. Then you can survive. Otherwise, it is not possible. So you need to have a couple of other skill sets with you, which can help you to survive or modify it in a very different way. So these are the skill sets which you need to develop in the coming time. I don't want to take much time because already enough has gone to your brain. So this will not work out well. What I want to tell you is, since you are from Haryana, think of water and make an oath today, because the 22nd water day was just finished. At least you will not do a borewell in your life. If you can make that project, no, keep it in your mind that I will not dig a borewell in my life. That itself is the biggest contribution for the country to manage from something else. If you can. Please do this from your side. I nothing more to speak because I didn't have any prescribed text with me to talk to you. My intention was just to interact with you and share some of real thoughts, what comes up from me. That's the only thing. I just want to wish you all the best. Have a great time and great year ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's always a delight to hear from you, sir, for your inspirational thoughts. And you are an ideal for everyone who is in this printing field and not in the printing, but I have got the chance to hear from you, sir, many times, and it is always a delight to hear from you, sir. It's an honor, it's a privilege for us to have you on the dais. I request you to stay on the stage for the felicitation ceremony, sir. I would also like to request President AIFMP to come up on the stage for the felicitation ceremony. I also request Registrar Madam Professor Sarika Ma'am to come up on the stage for the felicitation.
Next, we would like to felicitate Professor Dr. Phul Singh, Dean and HOD, SOET and General Chair. The next person to be felicitated is Professor Dr. Anjan Kumar Baral, the academic advisor of the conference. Dear students, you have to stop for a second because the next one also goes to Mr. Sandeep Bora.
Actually, I would like to say, this conference, maybe first for the university, but definitely first for the Sandeep sir. This special ceremony काम किया, that is unparalleled. So just to thank him, we have to honor him. Thank you. अभी सर एक बात कर रहे थे कि कमल जी यहाँ तो छोटा मिलेगा. Sir, this is the blessing of the Guru. We believe in Punjab. We are from the Punjab. We brought this golden temple of Guruji because he was the preacher, the best preacher ever held in India. Reforming evidence, as we have Dr. Nath, the same thing, the Sufi sect was there. So this is not a simple piece of cloth. It's a blessing of it. That's a blessing of it.
The next person we are going to felicitate is Mr. Anubhava Shiksharthi, the conference advisor and also the classmate and friend of our Kamalji. Next, I would like to call Dr. Rajesh Kumar Dubey, conference chairman.
This conference, I think, let me speak in English because maybe she will not understand fully. Yesterday I told you about the running ki Jhansi ki running. Already written, must be knowing. Agar printing mein koi Jhansi, if anyone in printing is the running ki Jhansi, then she's a person. From content, she can perceive her it. Thank you for the meeting and we wish to felicitate Mr. Madhu. जोरदार तालियां। मंडेरगढ़ एक थोड़ी सी रिमोट लोकेलिटी है और एक और प्रॉब्लम है, यहाँ कुछ भी नहीं मिलता। जो कुछ मैं डे बिफोर यस्टरडे आया तो girls were giving a problem that we are not getting that clothes which are to be for the dressing problem, something like that. And then it was made an issue and how to do it. So that type of challenges are there. But our conveners, co-conveners, everybody did a hard work and you are seeing the success today. I would like to invite our conference co-convener, Mr. Anil. Here. So they are the person. So we have one more co-convener, Amit Kumar. Amit is, yeah, Amit. Amit sir, they both, they are. एक कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई इनके कारण है, इससे मैडम जब ना yesterday I talked about problems को opportunity में बदलना, तो these are the people who जो भी यहाँ problem या challenges थी, those were converted to opportunities. Similarly, we have a person who has specially came from Hisar, Jijo Hisar, to help us every time sitting at the dock. And would be doctor, I will start calling me Dr. now, Dr. Bijinder Kaushik. Please come. कंप्यूटर ने चाहे तंग किया हुआ इन्होंने नहीं किया, कंप्यूटर बार बार कर रहा था, कभी साउंड कभी कुछ, बट ये he was the perfect. And everything technical which you have seen is the brain, his brainchild. How we are going to do it, कैसे करेंगे, ये blended mood हमारा भी पहला experience, हम तो technical है नहीं, हमें तो कुछ आता नहीं है, तो he was the person behind. You said, don't worry sir, I will manage and nothing will be spoiled. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Before going further, there is one more thing I want to show you something. The passion of students. Look the camera, let us see that. See the girls, what the girls are doing. And this is a lesson for all. See. That is the mission. If you don't have the person, let us quickly it. No problem. I would like to call my team here. All the team members, please. Student team member, please come. Madam, these are the people. These are the people. So I wish to invite everyone. All the team members, please. So that was the mission. I have already shown you on the screen what the girls were doing, and then today I have seen this was clean by them. They were doing it that day. Thank you very much for your help. It is only due to your help we have been successful here.
So on behalf of the university, one felicitation that he is the backbone of this conference. We are blessed to have the mentors like Professor Kamal Chopra. So I request
एक्चुअली प्रोफेसर तंकेश्वर जी फोन किया था मुझे सुबह, बोला मैं नहीं हूँ यहाँ, जबलपुर कुछ जाने का है, तो आप जाके मेरा जगह थोड़ा संभालने का है बोला है, so I am officially authorized to do it. Thank you.